It's your boy PSA Sitch here with the second live stream of the day. And today we're joined by, of course, everyone's favorite sidekick, Adam, friended forever. And today we'll also be watching Quinton Reviews. Complaining and crying. Boo! I know, boo. It's like wrestling when he comes in like this, we all boo. He's complaining and he's crying that Hamilton is just not woke enough. That musical play that everyone likes, it's just not woke enough.
Everyone likes?
That yes, Adam. It's against the law to not like Hamilton. If
everyone
you don't like Hamilton,
likes it.
It means you're a racist.
Oh, is that how it is?
That is how it is.
Really? Oh.
That's the rule. If you don't like Hamilton, you're a racist.
Who knew my wife is not a racist and I am?
Yeah, so before the stream, Adam's like, Sitch, I read the Wikipedia page on the Hamilton play. I was like, Adam, have you not watched the musical genius that is sweeping the country, the phenomenon known as Hamilton, which is now available on Disney Plus? And he said,
hell no.
He said no. He said no. And I said, Adam, what is wrong with you? Do you not like musicals? Does
my
your
wife makes
not
me
like
listen
musicals?
to that CD in the car, and I can't stand it.
And he said, no, Sitch, my wife has watched Hamilton 8 million times. And that's right. Adam hasn't watched Hamilton with his wife. Terrible.
No, she takes the nieces and nephews, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to see this nonsense. Why are you torturing the kids like that?
They love it. America loves it, okay? Where's your sense of patriotism and love?
Not my America.
What? I shouldn't be surprised. Hasn't been to Washington, D.C., hasn't been to the Statue of Liberty, hasn't seen Hamilton.
It's a musical. Oh, my God.
About America.
Musical.
Okay. Wow. Listen to this guy. Listen to this motherfucker.
I have seen Jesus Christ Superstar, though. That's a musical that I like.
That's true. What about West Side Story?
Nope, never seen it. I read the Wikipedia on Hamilton, though, so I'm up to speed. I'm up to speed on this crap.
Oh, my God.
I'm the voice of the everyman here, Sitch. You don't understand my contribution to the show. Nobody likes Hamilton.
So look, I'll say this. I've seen Hamilton once. I saw it in person. It was the actors were all tiny ants because the tickets are very expensive.
No doubt. I'm like, oh my God, you spent like $1,000 on Hamilton.
But I heard it, loud and clear. There's speakers everywhere when you go to see it. So, but look, here's the thing. Hamilton is good. It's not bad. It's good, but I do feel like it is overhyped.
Oh, the truth. Okay. We're getting the truth here.
Yes, I was trolling you. I do feel like it is. I think it's good, but it's overhyped because, and this is my impression of it. Okay, this is my impression of it. This is my non-objective metaphorical impression of Hamilton. Because when I went and saw it, tickets are very expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you sit in the fucking astronaut seats. Okay. So it's mostly a sea of old white people when you see this in person.
Just a theater of white guilt laid out before you.
Yep. My impression of Hamilton is a lot of old white people who want to feel cool and hip because they're listening to rap for the first time. They're like, it's like, look, guys, it's American history, which I like because I'm an old white person, but also it's young for the young culture because it's black people rapping. I'm a hip liberal dog. That's my impression of it. So
I listen to rap music in the car, and I side by side to that Hamilton, it just doesn't measure up. That Hamilton is not rap music. I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, there's some rap in it. What are you talking about?
Oh God. Yeah,
wow.
No, I guess it's like talking fast or whatever, but
wow, Adam. Adam's a bigot. I think we can all just admit Adam's a bigot. Anyways.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible music. It's awful. Terrible music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna tell my friend who's like
Super
loves
hyped.
musicals.
Uh-huh.
My friend who loves musicals. I'm gonna tell him that you said that.
Well, I
It's gonna
hate
be great.
musicals, so tell him I said that.
I will. I will tell him that. And just a reminder, in the description of this video is a link to the clip channel where clips are being uploaded.
Oh my God, you're so good. Thank God.
I'm so good. We always forget to mention the clip channel.
We do.
And I'm
yeah.
going to blame Adam for that. It's usually Adam's fault.
It is usually everything's my fault.
But Nathan Margolis has a channel where he uploads clips of the stream, so you could check that out if you want to see just specific clips and not 10 million hours of content, because I know some people complain about that.
Actually, my job is to get us into the video fast, and I'm doing a terrible job at that.
Anyways, should we get into
let's get into
video?
the video.
Okay, let me find the watch together room, and here.
July the 4th, 1776, after considerable
You
struggle.
can't start it. I have to start it. Okay, you're the sidekick here, Adam.
Let me
Okay.
turn the volume up.
You were proven wrong last stream. Okay, you know what that means? Do you know what that means, Adam?
Let's forget about that. Anyway, there's a friend of mine working on a comic, another Comicsgate guy, who's working on a comic called Sidekick Island. Wouldn't it be hilarious if PSA Stitch was in that book?
We better see some red short, like a background character.
No,
with red shorts
no.
in the background.
I think
wandering
PSA
around Sidekick Island.
I think PSA Stitch is going to be a prominent member of Sidekick Island.
I started to listen to the debate. Adam had a debate the other day.
Yesterday. What do you mean the other day? Yesterday.
Well, the other day is yesterday.
Technically, yeah, it is. It is the other.
I'm sorry. The other day being yesterday, Adam had a debate about Comicsgate and whether progressive politics was destroying comics. Okay. And right at the beginning of it, Adam was talking about our stream, and he said the Adam and Stitch stream, excuse me, Stitch and Adam stream. And I was like, whatcha? The fucker, whatcha? Adam.
Trying to be proper in our labeling, of course.
There we go. See, he knows. Anyway.
On July the 4th, 1776, after considerable struggle between the colonies and their rulers, a national doctrine was created, announcing that the United States would view itself as a sovereign, independent nation, and that any forces
of racists. Oh, sorry. Projecting. Going a little too quick.
To oppose this would be faced by the former colonies in battle. 5 years later, an allied force between the Continental Army and the French would successfully push the British out of Yorktown, effectively ending the Revolutionary War. In the decades after this, political strife would inevitably create what we know to be the United States, with the approval of the Constitution in 1789 serving as ideological concrete to our country's ideals. As the nation flourished and evolved in the hundreds of years after these moments, the Founding Fathers were immortalized in paintings, statues.
God, this music is so loud.
It's so bad, too. Holy cow. It's worse than the Hamilton music. What'd you do?
I went to the end of the video.
Why?
Because I was trying to turn the volume down on the watch together.
Did it work?
I can't do it, guys.
Effectively ending the revolution. As the nation flourished and evolved in the hundreds of years after these moments, the Founding Fathers were immortalized in paintings, statues, and literature, with a few select works.
Oh, look at that. George Washington up there with the angels. Waving down at us. Hey, bro.
So, do you know where this mural is located at?
Las Vegas. No, I have no idea.
This is called the Apotheosis of Washington.
Oh, really?
Okay? It's painted on the dome of the rotunda of the United States Capitol building.
Awesome.
And you know who painted this and when?
Michelangelo, 1600s.
No.
What? I was wrong.
This was painted in 1852 by an immigrant.
No way.
That's right. This is the American dream. An immigrant came to America and painted a beautiful mural, obviously inspired by, Roman and Greek mythology on the rotunda.
Yeah.
And Quinton is like, how dare they? Look at them. They put Washington up there like a god. Oh,
I
terrible.
mean, he's sitting on the symbol for the LGBT community. I mean, how can that be? This is like the perfect mural.
Illustrating these men in the same way that the Romans had depicted the gods of their legends. During this time, one could argue that the Founding Fathers became both more and less than men, as they were broken down and desaturated into whatever ideals the era of the time needed them to depict. American society,
which is unfortunately true of all historical figures.
Yes, very much so.
Society truly did learn to look at these select men in the same way that the Egyptians looked at long-dead pharaohs, as a mirage briefly glimmering in the distance, and nothing really more concrete.
Okay.
Okay.
That's really stupid and wrong, okay? Unlike the pharaohs of ancient times, lots of the Founding Fathers wrote voluminous journals and correspondence that are all documented, that everyone can see, and there was copious notes taken on a plethora of subjects about their opinions. So the idea that, like, the Founding Fathers are a mythical blank slate that anyone could attribute anything to is bullshit. Yes, in common popular culture, people could do that because people are stupid and uneducated and they don't care. But historians have always known and have always had these records to draw upon and say, no, these are the actual words they wrote themselves. Here are the actual writings written by these people and things written about them contemporary to them being alive. Okay, so this is really stupid.
But Sitch, it's so much more fun just to make shit up, like I've been doing through this whole show. Like, why would you want to actually know what they really said or did or any of that stuff?
That's true. That's true. They're just the same as the Egyptian pharaohs. Because look, there's like a sphinx, There's like a sphinx in Egypt. It's like a face in rock. And here, the Founding Fathers, we got their faces on rock. It's the same thing, Adam. It's the same.
Do you think they left that little space up there on Mount Rushmore for some other face? They got kind of lazy on Lincoln over here. Like, it's totally half finished.
No.
I don't know.
There's not enough space for another face.
Looks a little lazy.
Well, see, at least, Teddy was egotistical enough that he wanted his own face on Mount Rushmore, but at least he's like tucked in the middle away,
Yeah, they should drill those eye holes out and put some lasers in there.
There you go.
That would be cool.
And then, barely less than 200 years after the declaration of our independence, a musical premiered on Broadway which sought to illustrate the Fathers in a light which hadn't often been seen before. The opening number, starring famed sitcom star William Daniels, did not feature a beautiful dedication to our nation's glory or the brilliant minds of the fathers before us, but a squawking mess of angry, fatigued men overwhelmingly complaining about how unbearable the weather is.
It's time to increase, it's hot as hell in Philadelphia. Someone wanna open up a window.
This is quite different.
Is that why they emphasized the heat so much in grade school when they taught this stuff? Like, I remember when they when they wrote the Constitution or whatever, it was extremely hot.
No, because there's lots of contemporaneous writings. They noted about how incredibly hot it was during the Constitution.
I just want to get this shit over with. Are you kidding me? It's sweltering in here.
Well, that's what's so funny about it, because everyone like imagines that there's like these, philosopher kings and gods, handing the Constitution down from a place of pure logic. And it's like, no, like it was just super hot. People were tired. They wanted to get the shit done. They wanted to go home.
Yeah, exactly.
But I assume you've never seen 1776, Adam, because you hate musicals.
Yes, I've seen no musicals except for Jesus Christ Superstar.
Terrible. 1776 is pretty
Why? Do you really like musicals? This is an interesting.
I don't even really like musicals.
Turn of events here.
I actually don't really like musicals, but I'm not like a bigot against them, like as a concept.
So you watch things you don't like? That seems
No,
weird.
no. I'm saying I don't have a particular fondness or distaste for the genre of
Right.
musicals.
You're
I judge
apathetic
each
about
one
it.
individually on its own individual merits. Like
Oh,
an enlightened
man.
centrist. Okay.
Oh, when they
But
start
that's not true. You've
singing,
seen
it's
lots
so
of
weird.
musicals. You've seen lots of musicals, Adam.
A story guy, though, doesn't like musicals. It seems weird that you like music.
All the Disney movies are musicals.
Yeah. What Disney movies have I seen? Come on.
Yeah, Aladdin.
Star Wars is a Disney movie. It's not a
Wait,
musical.
have you not seen Aladdin?
Why are you shocked by this? Who wants
You've
to
never
watch
seen Aladdin, Adam?
Oh my god.
Have you never seen Lion King?
I hate musicals.
Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid?
Not a one of them.
You've not seen a single Disney movie? How is this possible?
I hate musicals.
How are you like a person? How are you a flesh
Oh,
and blood
DJ Crunk
living-
Factory says Wizard of Oz. Yes, I have seen the Wizard of Oz. Wizard of
How are
Oz
you
I
a-
have seen.
How are you alive? How do you exist?
It's very easy. These movies really they make a lot of people suicidal, you know. I'm probably
Every
alive
single
because I
person
didn't
in
watch
starving children in Cambodia and China have seen Disney movies, okay? Like, how is this possible?
I'm just never really into musicals.
Oh my god.
I would run.
Guys, I'm just so disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
I don't
Look, I like this. Adam, you bastard. The fuck? LOL. Wow. What? See, everyone is just shocked. Adam is an alien confirmed. Yes, exactly. This is craziness. This is madness.
Hey, I watched Kill la Kill, man. I loved it. Give me a break.
Crazy.
Different from the candid image we usually see of these men depicted in pop culture. And in a way...
So isn't that good? Like, we have 1776, a very famous musical. It depicts the founding fathers as not the philosopher kings, but as flawed individuals bickering and arguing with each other. That's good, right?
You would think, yeah, totally.
Right.
Bring him down from Mount Olympus. Make him real.
Exactly. I'm sure Quinton will find something wrong with that, though.
The musical manages to make the audience more invested in these played-out proceedings by just being slightly more upfront, personifying much of the Continental Congress as
just slightly more upfront, just a little teeny tiny bit.
Do you like that? How we go from like George Washington painted on the rotunda as Zeus to them arguing about the heat, and that's, you know, it's only slightly more grounded.
Yeah, totally. He did the same thing with the 200 years. It's like just a wee tiny little 250 years later. You know, 250 years, dude.
Right.
That's a long time. I'm barely getting through 2020 here.
Oh, and there's another thing I forgot to mention about the painting of George Washington as like Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
That was like very close to the end of the Civil War.
Really?
So it's like important to establish an American mythos as a guiding principle that everyone can unite around.
Yeah, they were trying to save the Union, for heaven's sakes.
Yep.
Yeah. They're like, here's the God we need. Remember the days of George Washington? We need it now.
Corrupt, and John Adams is one of the most shrewd, obnoxious men to ever have a role in our nation's history. 1776 inspired generations of children to grow up to be, essentially, founding father geeks. And one...
Except I never saw any of those, so.
I was going to say, do you believe that? Does anyone believe that?
No.
That waves of children... Waves of young children watched 1776, a musical they probably wouldn't understand unless they were like adults, and they just grew up and become founding father geeks.
Nope. Wrong.
Nope. Don't believe it. I'm sure the theater kids enjoyed it, but I think that's a very select group of individuals.
Exactly. Way different type of geek.
One of those geeks, a man named Lin-Manuel Miranda, eventually would come to pen a concept album about the life of Alexander Hamilton, which would then be made into a very famous stage play, which a select few have called one of the great...
Look at there, Adam. The most exciting musical of the decade.
A select group of people have called Hyped beyond belief. It was Sitch. He said that right before we began.
I said it was good. No. I said it was good, but I think people overblow it.
Check the tape. Overhyped.
I'm giving Hamilton a solid B. Okay, solid
the most
B.
exciting musical of the week. Not the decade.
Greatest piece ever made. Lin-Manuel's obsession with 1776 held so true that Hamilton swiftly avoids stepping on the toes of the former musical, declining to depict any of the events and even choosing not to cast someone to play John Adams because of Miranda's vision of the William Daniels incarnation as the one which exists in his depiction of the story.
Oh, yes. Sit down, John, you fat mother!
Because of the close connection.
See, he's creating a Founding Fathers cinematic universe.
Yeah, totally. Did they say mother effer back then? I don't know if they did. I don't know if that was a common term.
Yeah, I don't think the Hamilton play and its use of language was historically accurate, Adam.
Yeah.
It's part of the appeal.
Oh,
right?
It is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I also don't think all the Founding Fathers were black. That's also part of the appeal. I don't know if you're aware of this.
I don't see color.
Oh, okay, of course.
Sorry, Robin
Between
DeAngelo,
these
you
two.
racist.
And I also don't think that the Founding Fathers were breakdancing around each other while talking about legislation.
That part's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
One could argue that Hamilton inherits not only the purpose of 1776, but also the key criticisms that one could make of it.
Uh-oh. What do you think that is? What do you think that is?
He's going to drop some knowledge on us.
No, but what do you think the key criticism is that Quinton is going to focus on?
It not being woke enough.
That's the name of the title of the stream, Adam. Give me something specific. Okay, fine.
Why are you doing this to me?
I just wanted to see if you could guess. So I see if you could guess.
Let me look up the stream title here real quick.
In the era we currently live in.
No, don't leave us hanging. What the hell? What is
Well,
it?
he's about to tell us. He's literally about to tell us.
Evaluating these figures, which we grew up idolizing, we inevitably find ourselves coming.
Who grew up idolizing these figures?
No one.
Yeah, no one. No one grew up idolizing this, okay?
Adults idolize these figures. I don't think little kids are like, oh boy, when I grew up, I want to be just like George Washington and chop down a cherry tree. Woo!
We could do a man on the street interviews today with people and ask them, who's Hamilton? And they would go, I don't know. Who's Benjamin Franklin? I don't know.
No. See, now they'll know who Hamilton is, but before the play, they wouldn't have known.
Hamilton, that's the dude from the play.
Yeah,
but who is he? The dude from the play.
Let's say Benjamin Franklin, like that's the guy, he had like a kite with a key and he like created electricity,
totally.
right?
Yeah. Nobody knows these stories.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Who's Rey? Oh, she's a Star Wars girl.
If you were to ask little kids, like, you know, like who's your favorite hero? Do you think they're gonna say George Washington, or are they gonna say like Iron Man, Spider-Man?
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Batman.
They call them the modern mythology for a reason.
Questioning the depiction presented. And while we once perceived them to be subversive, realistic depictions of figures once seen as mere legends, in actuality they really serve the purpose of humanizing those same legends for the sake of maintaining them.
So there you go. See, 1776 showing a more realistic depiction of the Founding Fathers was actually a trick, Adam. It was a trick. There's a manipulation. It was all just to humanize them, just to sucker you in to still worshiping the Founding Fathers.
Is he going to say that the Founding Fathers are a bunch of losers and that we shouldn't be worshiping them? It seems like that's kind of the path he's going down.
We'll see. We'll find out.
It seems like that's where we're going.
And, as I briefly mentioned some videos ago, I actually do find some merit to that in...
Now that's what I like. I thought of a musical that I've seen. The
Muppets
Muppets.
Treasure Island?
The Muppets movie.
Which Muppets movie have you seen?
The first one. What is it?
The Muppets. Was it Muppets
I
Take
think it is the
Manhattan, or is that the
Muppets.
second one?
I think Muppets Take Manhattan was the second one, but I think I've actually seen them both.
Have you seen Muppets Treasure Island, the best one?
I don't think I have. I'm in for a treat.
God. Well, at least you'll watch it. Okay.
You must have been sitting down in front of a television set like most of your life.
Yeah, right. Because I've seen the Disney classic movies that literally everyone in existence has seen. I must have been sitting in front of a TV my entire life. Okay.
I'm out doing stuff, man. I'm like
When you
scaling
were
mountains and
okay.
visiting New York.
There you go. But not Washington D.C. or the
Statue of Liberty.
He's going right by it on a boat, going by, waving. I'm never gonna come visit.
Someday.
Because the very fact that I know so much about the founding fathers of my nation and the pages in its history book is the case because I grew up being spoon-fed a very idealistic, childish depiction of those events.
And he hates his parents for it.
I know. Well, it's funny because I'd never seen this cartoon. I forget what it's called. But someone on Twitter said that this is so inaccurate, that this cartoon was actually very morally gray and like ambiguous about certain ethical decisions the founding fathers made.
Really?
Said
they went woke in the cartoon?
Tyler Hummel on Twitter said, I actually rewatched Liberty Kids out of morbid curiosity after watching Quinton's review. It's actually really morally gray and gives a lot of time exploring the negative consequences of the revolution in addition to the positives.
Wow. So they were woke even then.
Well, it's funny because he says this like it's like everyone's experience, where my experience was just the opposite. Like my experience when they talked about the founding fathers in school and middle school, really, because we didn't talk about that too much in elementary school, but in middle school, it was very much like, they talk about slavery, they talk about, the positive and negatives. They even talked about how like maybe the Americans were kind of dicks for revolting in the first place. Like they talked about
what?
It was like, yeah, they went through like all of it.
We had to kick those British to the curb.
It wasn't. I didn't have this like maybe because I don't know. I think Quinton grew up in like the Midwest somewhere or something. So maybe out there, I don't know. He had some magical, fantastical history class as a kid where George Washington rode down on Pegasus from Mount Olympus and it was farting rainbows the whole way. And he punched the King of England out and said, "America will be free." But that was not my experience.
Muppet Treasure Island is on Disney Plus, so I will definitely watch it.
There you go. If you don't like it, it's good.
Critical as this might sound for me to say this, I'm not sure that I would want to take that away from any child. And in some way, that's the coolest thing that Hamilton does. By declining to cast an accurate all-white cast, it allows all American children, regardless of race, to identify with these figures as their founding fathers. And the moments...
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's great.
No, do you agree with his reasoning?
What do you mean?
Do you think that's why they did it? They did it so that
No, they did it for woke points.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
they did it for woke points, but I mean, if it does, I mean, that's one thing I keep contemplating with all this, like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. We need to have a national narrative that blacks and whites can both be proud of. I don't necessarily know.
Right.
How do we do that? Like they seem.
I
don't know.
To move forward.
I mean, it sounds super SJW, but the whole. I don't. It's impossible for me to tell how I would feel if my history was slavery. I don't know how. I mean, we can only speculate, right?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
It would be like if, like if I was German and in my history was like the Holocaust. I'm sure I'd feel very different about my country.
Yeah,
right.
They do have some collective guilt over there.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. So
but
I don't know.
Another reason I think they made the cast all or mostly black is because if they didn't, they would get in trouble for culturally appropriating, quote unquote, black style music.
Oh,
so they kind of had to do it. Yep.
That's funny. There's all these woke landmines out there that they have to navigate, and it would be, I guess, ironic if those woke landmines actually ended up putting them in the right place. Like it did some good.
Well, and it's funny because it's actually genius because it's like when Disney decides to make Rey a girl, right? Mm-hmm. It totally deflects from the fact that Finn is basically a racist caricature of a
totally.
black sidekick.
Totally.
Okay.
Yes.
Because everyone's focused on like the strong, independent woman aspect of it.
Yeah, a little
And
sleight of
so,
hand.
right, exactly. So you could say the same thing with Hamilton by making all the founding fathers black. It kind of, for most people, not all, as we're about to find out, but for most people, it kind of skirts away, oh, why didn't you focus on like slavery and all this other stuff?
Yeah. Why is all this rap music going on? All this cultural appropriation.
As the building blocks to their own history. But, on the other hand, it's probably not a strong recommendation of the merit of this presentation that my automatic defense is to presume that all viewers are literal toddlers. Especially...
You think toddlers are gonna watch Hamilton and enjoy it?
No. I can tell you I'm not a toddler, and I will never watch Hamilton and enjoy it, so...
Is one of the selling points of Hamilton is its honest depiction of sultry sex scandals and affairs. This is the edgiest thing to be on Disney Plus since Ass Carpet. In the same way that Hamilton's unique casting could be defended as an attempt to impart these stories as the origin of all Americans, it could also be stated
that ass carpet joke really didn't hit for me. How about you?
It was hilarious.
I just think it's funny. He's kind of shoehorned that in there.
To be an excuse to just not talk about certain things that the speakers would rather not bring up. When I was in high school, I was shown a film titled...
So before we get into this next point, you have a play, a musical that's like, I don't know, it's like 4 hours long already. Okay. And it's about Alexander Hamilton's life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's complaining that it doesn't focus on slavery.
Was Alexander Hamilton a slave?
No. And he also wasn't in favor of slavery.
Did he own a bunch of slaves?
Well, no, but his wife did, and that's where Quinton was going to
Oh my God.
But I'm just saying the idea that like every single thing, obviously, look, when I was taking history class, so much of it is focused on slavery, which is important.
Totally.
And good. Okay. But the idea that every time there's anything remotely related to the founding of this country that you just have to shoehorn in, that giant shoehorn in that says, yeah, but the slaves, even if it's not a bit like relevant to whatever the topic is that is the woke of virtue signal.
Yeah, it sucks. Everything has to be woke. Everything is judged by how woke it is. That's
right.
Like the scourge of our time. It's like, This isn't about that. No, it has to be about that. Why? Because.
I mean, you could create a very interesting story. I don't think we could in modern times because someone that would create this story would be a woke idiot. But theoretically, you could create a very interesting story that juxtaposes like the founding fathers having these grand ideals and then also being hypocrites towards slaves that they owned or were aware of or whatever. Like that would be its own entire story. It shouldn't be something shoehorned into another thing, into totally. Like a musical.
Yeah.
And also, it is a musical. Like, are you gonna have the slaves like doing a music number on stage? Oh, Alexander Hamilton's wife is like whipping them. Like, I don't know. What do you want? Like,
oh my God, that's so bad.
Seem very culturally appropriate. I don't know.
That's not going to pass the woke test, man. The New York Times is not going to be kind to that.
I don't know how that would work, guys.
Titled The. Now, at the time,
have you seen this movie?
No, I don't think so.
The Help?
No, I never saw The Help.
I haven't seen it either, but I did read the Wikipedia on it, like Adam.
Did you? Nice.
I did.
What's the rundown? This was a very
very popular movie.
Yeah, wasn't it? Didn't it win like an Academy Award? But it was. I think this was the year after Oscars So White, when they were just like every single movie was a huge virtue signal.
Let's see. Won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. The film received 3 other nominations, but I guess did not win. So.
What year was it? I'll look up Oscars.
2011, so it would be the 2012 Oscars.
So White. I'll look up Oscars So White. Let's see what year that was. Oh, they can't make it easy on me, can they?
Oh my God. So The Help is about let me give you the plot. Well, I think he explains the plot rundown.
Help had been ceremoniously congratulated for being a fantastic take on 1960s racism, which modern audiences could easily digest. But today it is recognized for being subtly racist for another reason.
I'm trying to find the first year of the Oscars So White, and it's like this scenario happened in both 2015 and 2016. 2020 Oscars avoided the Oscars So White scenario. It's like
Yeah, so probably starting 2015. So this was before the Oscars. So
okay,
White
interesting
stuff, right? No, but it's so funny because what Quinton said, this is so indicative of why the woke shit is bullshit. Okay, so in 2011, when this movie comes out, okay, this movie is about the civil rights era. Okay, it's about the civil rights movement, and it's about a white girl kind of realizing the racism of the time and of her parents and her family in terms of how they treat the maids who are black.
Man, we should see this movie. It sounds really fascinating.
Boring, yeah, but no. But so,
is there any lasers in this movie? Because
exactly.
I'm a huge fan of lasers.
I don't think the maid, her arm turns into a laser cannon and she destroys the racist white guy in the movie.
Will this movie teach me to empathize with people?
Yes.
Will it make me feel sad? I don't like feeling sad.
There you go. Probably. But anyway, so it's funny because it's 2011. This movie comes out and everyone's like, oh, this is like a great movie. It's anti-racism. It's teaching you to be empathetic to people of other races, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now, in modern times, in the year 2020, a mere 9 years later, everyone's like, this movie is racist and bigoted because the main character is a white girl and she's the main character and everything's through the white girl's perspective. Therefore, it's racist. It's so dumb. It's like it's impossible to please the woke crowd. It's impossible. Like, don't even try. Don't even bother.
Yeah. Their best case movie is like you're supposed to actually show it through the black person's perspective, right? And the white person is supposed to be the villain, the evil person.
Which you can do. Like, nothing wrong in
how many white people are going to empathize with that, though? How many white people are just going to walk out of that movie theater and be like,
right,
I'm more racist than when I went in?
Right. Well, this gets in. I'll play the video for a little bit more because this gets into the whole white savior trope, which I despise because the woke crowd fundamentally doesn't understand storytelling at all, which is why all woke movies are awful.
Right.
Woke stories are awful.
Well, they're not interested in storytelling. They're interested in virtue signaling.
Yes, that's true.
It declines to allow historical people of color to tell their own story, and instead assigns a white woman the task of doing so for them. General audiences, when asked to hear about periods of time in the past like the 1960s, will always prefer there be some
I mean, I'm thinking of this from like a story perspective. Like, don't you kind of want the real purpose of the movie is to tell the white people in the audience, to let the white people in the audience see the perspective of the white person in the movie. I mean, we're talking about a movie I haven't seen, but I would assume that, you know, her character arc is coming to discover that she's kind of a bigot, right?
Well, no, I think she starts off as not a bigot, but she's like uncovering the bigotry of her family and other people.
Okay, right. So wouldn't you want to, if the purpose of that, uncovering that bigotry is to show other white people about the bigotry, wouldn't you want a white protagonist? So that seems to make sense.
But Adam, that makes sense and it's logical.
Yeah, totally logical.
But this is what's so bafflingly stupid. Okay, you know, you ask a black person, you say, "Hey, was it bad that you didn't have equal rights as white Americans in the '60s and before that?" And they'll say, "Obviously."
Yeah,
right?
Terrible.
Okay, so but what you said, you totally hit the nail on the head. It's like this is a movie that's designed to try to presumably make the majority of people in the country who are not black empathize with the plight of the black population during that time period.
Correct.
And in order to do that, what do? You create a character who represents the audience whom they can project onto.
Totally.
And then when that character empathizes with the plight of the Black community, the audience empathizes with the plight of the Black community. Quinton, this is so fucking obvious. Okay, it's not racist, you stupid idiot. This is how storytelling works.
Yes, they call that character usually the everyman because they want every man to empathize with them.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah. This is funny because they have been kind of like the whole civil rights like goal has kind of been in movies forever, but now it's just a question. Now they're arguing over the storytelling dynamics, like how to basically do the civil rights goal and make it work. I guess they just don't understand how it works. Well, I guess the way it works is racist now.
I think it's exactly what you said. They're not interested in actually being practical or pragmatic or telling a good story or connecting to people. They're interested in virtue signaling.
Right. Preaching.
And this is the problem, which I didn't really, I guess, fundamentally think about until recently. But this is all critical theory. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the whole literally the entire point of critical theory is to deconstruct everything and say that it's bigoted or racist or oppressive in some way. That's literally the point. They're saying, let me look at everything I can and find the oppression. Okay.
Yes.
Like that's the entire point. Anita Sarkeesian has that famous line where she says, everything is racist, everything is sexist, and it's our job to point it out. Okay. Because these people like Quinton, like Anita, and like the critical theorists are so dumb.
Yeah.
They have no knowledge of how the human brain works, that they don't understand the most basic facet of human thought, that the brain is basically a pattern recognition machine. That's like the most base function of how the brain works. Okay, so that's why when ancient people looked up into the stars, they could draw lines around the stars and say, look, it's a scorpion. Look, they're twins. You know, look, there's a guy, there's Orion. Like that's how they create shapes in the stars. That's why when you look at random things, you look at wood grain and say, oh, it's the face of Jesus. It's because your brain wants to see patterns everywhere. That's why people are racist. That's exactly why people are racist and tribal, because they think that they see a pattern and your brain so desperately wants to fit everything into a neat little pattern. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's literally the basis of racism. So your brain wants to fit everything into a neat pattern. And these people like Quinton and Anita are so stupid that they don't understand that if you tell yourself, if you enter a situation saying, hey, I'm going to find the racism, I'm going to find the sexism, your brain will automatically make it so it's there.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
It will find it for you. It will construct it for you. That's the whole point of ink blocks. Your brain will look at an ink blot. It's a random fucking picture, and your brain will somehow make it into a recognizable shape before your eyes.
Yeah. You've heard the example of the white person and the black person walk into the store. Have you heard that one?
No.
So, yeah, this is like the critical race theory example that's going around because you can't win in this situation. Like a black person and a white person walk into the store at the same time, right? And you're like the salesperson. Who do I go over to first? Do I go over to the white person first or do I go over to the black person first, right? You're like, I don't want to be racist here. Like, come on, no one wants to be racist, right? So if you go over to the white person first, then you're racist because obviously black people don't have any money. What the hell? Like, why even, like, come on. Why are they even at the store, right? So you're like, I don't want to do that. That's bad, obviously. So you go over to the black person first, and it's like, oh, black people are shoplifting. So we have to make sure we escort the black person.
Exactly.
So you can't win. Exactly. Whatever you do, you're racist. So yeah, exactly. Whatever you do, the pattern is there.
Exactly. If your goal is to find the witch, to find this person to be a witch, you're going to find the evidence to make them a witch. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to find that the next person is racist, you're going to find the evidence to make them a racist.
Yeah. Sad. Yeah, very sad. We're in a crazy situation right now.
That's so bad.
Isn't it best just to put all this stuff? I feel like we were so close. I feel like we were so close.
I know. I know. See, but that's what's so frustrating because I agree with you. I felt like we were so close to really like moving forward. And then the woke nation attacked and literally just tore everything apart that people had worked so hard for so many years to build up.
They're still tearing it apart right now.
I know. Currently.
Quinton's working on it right now with this video. Sad.
I know. It's like, look at Hamilton. It's being, everyone's saying it's like the best thing ever. And it's, such a positive experience because, you have all the founding fathers as black. And Quinton's like, no, it's not woke enough, guys.
Yeah. Man, so bad.
Periods of time in the past, like the 1960s, will always prefer there be some ahistorical white protagonist who holds the values of today's society without it being questioned.
Really? People, wait a minute. Adam. This is crazy to me. I didn't know this. Did you know that when people watch a movie about history, that they sometimes or often generally want the main character to kind of embody the values and principles of modern times?
Yeah. Wow. I like my protagonist to be totally amoral.
Like, this is crazy. That's just racism, isn't it, Adam? Like, wanting your protagonist to be an everyman you can project your thoughts onto and your experience onto so you can easily empathize with them. I've never heard of that before.
It's true.
And Hamilton essentially holds that same trope true. Except because these characters are portrayed by actors who are not white, you don't naturally find yourself questioning this at all.
So should the people in Hamilton, should they be throwing the N-word out every 5 seconds? Should they be talking like, what does he want?
God.
Should they be talking in Old English? Like, I don't, what is he suggesting?
That would be horrible.
It would be horrible. Like, I don't understand what is he suggesting? This is part of the problem for this video. I don't think he ever creates this video. He just negatively criticizes everything, but he doesn't say like what would be the better alternative.
He never makes a suggestion, huh? Because it's deconstruction. All you're supposed to do is deconstruct. You're not actually supposed to proffer solutions, for heaven's sakes. Come on.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. It's so easy to just tear things down.
I just realized that my favorite movie has a black protagonist.
What's your favorite movie?
Rubber. It's a tire, but it's still black.
Oh my God.
And they don't use the N-word once. It's like a perfect movie.
Kick Adam from the stream. You deserve to be kicked for that comment. Oh my God. That was awful.
Come on, you walked right into that.
That was awful. I thought you were going to say like The Matrix or something.
Have you seen the movie Nightcrawler?
No. The one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah, that's a great movie. Yes. But that's definitely a movie where the protagonist doesn't embody the values of the time.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'd say there's plenty of movies like that.
Yeah, but usually those movies aren't meant for you to empathize with the racial play.
Totally.
Like a group of people.
Yes, it's not like your civil rights type movie. This is like the anti-hero.
Like, because it's usually you can have evil protagonists, but even when they're evil, you still empathize with them in some fashion because they're the protagonists. That's just sort of the way our brains work. Sort of the way storytelling works.
Yeah, you're going along because it's interesting.
Right. Like Death Note's a perfect example. The protagonist of Death Note is the villain. It's Light. He's fucking evil. And I was so happy when he gets defeated, but still you do like want to see him like you empathize with him a little bit. You want to see him keep going and not get caught, but he's still fucking evil as shit and you want him to get his comeuppance.
This is Death Note.
Oh, I thought you said you've seen Death Note.
I believe I have, yeah.
Well, I guess you haven't.
No, I have. That's the one where he writes in the book, right? And the guy kills whoever he wants. He writes down whoever he wants.
Right.
I've seen that, yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I'd write some names down. I got some names I'd write down. I got a couple.
Why do you think I never
you've
give
got
Adam
some
my real
names.
name?
You got some. Oh, I know your real name. Trust me. Don't mess with me.
That's true. He can put my name in the death note.
I have a couple dentists I'd go after.
Damn. Oh God.
Musical, Hamilton brings up every few songs his unending desire to eventually hold a hand in ending slavery. But he then
Which is historically accurate in what he said many times.
marries
happened with
into
the
the
wife?
Schuyler
How's the story
family,
end?
historically renowned for their part in the institution of slavery. In fact, according to the book which Hamilton is based on, not only
So, first of all, this is really weird. He says the family is historically known for being involved in slavery. Does anyone in the chat know if that's true? Because I looked this up, and like they had slaves, but he's making it sound like, oh yes, like the Schuyler family that Hamilton married into, like that's the reason why slavery existed in America.
Right. Like they were running slaves. Like they were slave
Right.
brokers.
Yeah, like they were like the ones like making it legal in the Constitution to, to own slavery or whatever, or in state laws, I guess, specifically to have slaves.
So crazy.
did Hamilton almost certainly aid in negotiating for the purchase of slaves on behalf of the Schuyler family and the Continental Army, but it seems that he even purchased a few just for himself and Eliza. Hamilton might have had anti-slavery sentiments during his youth, but it's clear that climbing social ladders and gaining political power came much sooner on his itinerary.
Okay, so again, here's Quinton. He could have done like an ounce of research before he made this video, right? He could have actually displayed the things he was talking about, but no, he just says them. And we, the audience, this stupid woke audience, are just supposed to, accept it as if it's fact and as if it's gospel. Because he's the picture Quinton is painting is, oh, Alexander Hamilton was a young idealist who was against slavery, but as soon as he became an adult and had to climb the political hierarchy, he instantly threw his ideals away and just said, I love me some slaves. Right?
Yeah, totally. That's what he's saying.
Right. Okay. This is so fucking untrue. Okay. So this is so funny. In 1785, okay? So it's after the war. It's already after the war. Okay. Hamilton with John Jay found an organization that's goal was the abolition of slavery in New York.
Wow.
Okay. He was a co-founder of an organization designed to eventually try to get slavery abolished in the state of New York.
Do you know if that was the first abolitionist
I have no idea
organization?
if it was the first.
Yeah. Or whether or not he just jumped in.
And he also was, let's see, he was also, it doesn't say his role. He was also on like the board or like the secretary treasury, or no, it says he was the founder of something called the African Free School in 1787, which was a school for the children of slaves and free people of color in New York City. Okay. In 1787, Alexander Hamilton found a school specifically for the children of slaves. Okay. So this idea that, yes, obviously he lived in a time period where slavery was accepted by the overwhelming majority of people as what was moral, as what was acceptable.
But not the slaves.
Right. And Alexander Hamilton personally disagreed with this, so much so that he founded an organization about abolishing it, that he created a fucking school designed to educate the children of slaves for free, okay, based on donations. And Quinton's up here like, oh, Alexander Hamilton actually didn't believe in any of his anti-slavery rhetoric because he married into a rich family that had slaves. Well, if we use our brain power for a second, we can think real hard here and say, wait a minute. Do you think there was a rich family in the 1700s that didn't own slaves?
Exactly. Yeah.
So this is what's and so what is Hamilton supposed to do? Like, if he falls in love with some like girl, is he supposed to be like, oh, your family, like she's a girl, like at the time, I think when he met her, like they were like, she was like 18 or something, right? You know, she's not like the one making the financial decisions of the household. Her father is. You know, is he supposed to like fall in love with a girl and be like, well, your family participates in slavery, which the majority of rich people do in this country, therefore I'm not going to marry you, even though I love you, and just, you know, like what is he supposed to do in this situation?
Oh, I found a picture of her.
Is she hot? Is that what you're
Hamilton's
saying?
wife. Well, I was thinking, you know, you might want to, depending upon, you know, how hot she is, whether or not
There you go. That's the real issue. If she's hot enough, she's hot enough.
Oh, I found a picture of a slave wife too. Just kidding. I didn't find that. There's some picture. There's a lot of shit. Like, I'm getting a picture of why he's doing this video, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet about Hamilton, like his complicated relationship with slavery. Was Alexander Hamilton a slave owner?
Well, it's so funny because you have.
Seems like
it's
a
so
lot
funny.
of people
Well,
are trying to prove that he was.
Here's the hypocrisy of Quinton. Okay, he has the perfect hypocrisy right here. He just criticized the movie The Help because it has a protagonist who embodies, you know, the values of modern times. Right.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like that. Okay. So, but at the same token, he's criticizing Hamilton because Hamilton didn't have the exact values of modern times, but had a very complicated value system where he personally was against slavery, but was able to marry into a family that had slaves because that's the way the world was in modern times.
Yeah. It's just
so he wants to have it both ways.
Yeah, they all do.
To the extent that he really didn't fight against slavery when it came to those owned by him and his own family. But of course,
citation needed.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't you just find a citation saying he did?
Yeah.
He did.
Facts like that happen to take away the punch from some of the cute little moments in the story, like...
See, but this is what pissed me off about all these fucking shitty BreadTube videos. It's so rarely they ever, like, show whatever their facts are. They just say it. It's, I can just say something in a convincing way, and if it's woke enough, everyone will just agree. It's like, that's the way it was.
People are agreeing because they want to. That's what they want to believe. That's the whole thing of the internet.
That's terrible.
Aw, look at the cute little slavery heiresses. It feels
oh my god.
Wait, what did he flashed something really quick. See if I can stop it.
Oh, really? Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
It's like literally a frame. Like, Jesus Christ.
Aw, look at the cute little slavery heiresses.
Reminder.
Okay. Reminder, that joke is okay because all these characters are white.
Oh, okay. He's saying, I'm not making fun of black people, I swear. I know they're literally black. They're literally black.
But in real life, in literal history, they're white.
So complicated. And Hamilton's made it even more complicated. He's like, wait, the slave owners are black?
Well, it's also funny because it's like, does Quinton think that if he existed in the 1700s that he would be like the guy against slavery?
Of course he does. Of course. Don't think he doesn't.
I mean, it's so funny. This is the guy who he went to VidCon, befriended all the anti-SJW YouTubers, right? He goes to the parties, he goes to Disney with them. I think there's some weird thing where like he stayed with someone's hotel room, or he like snuck in the Disney using them as a resource. And then the next year, when Quentin decides that, he wants to start appealing to, he wants to start getting it with Jenny Nicholson, and he wants to start appealing to the woke girls who he finds attractive or whatever. Okay. He wants to get into that crowd. Instead of just, maybe his opinions changed, right? And if his opinions change, that's fine. Or instead of just like trying to talk to those people, make friends with them. No. He goes out of his way to attack all the YouTubers that he was once so happy to be friends with, to virtue signal, to stab the knife in the back to all these people that were just nice to him out of the goodness of their hearts. People didn't have to be nice to Quinton when they met him, right?
No.
And this guy who's so obviously a backstabber in such a disgusting way, and he just brought it up. I think we talked about this. He just brought it up like a week or two ago for no reason, for literally no reason. He just posted a picture of, you know, Sargon and Chris Ray Gun and Sophane and everyone behind the Kekistani flag from the 2017 VidCon. For no reason, he posts this picture on Twitter and he's like, I'm so glad I didn't end up in this picture. I was so close to like almost ending up in this picture because I liked and respected all these people. But they're all awful bigots now. Okay.
Yeah.
And he brings it up for no reason, just a virtue signal, just to try to get brownie points. This guy, this backstabbing, social climbing guy, does he think that in the 1700s he's going to be the fucking lone voice against slavery? Fuck no.
You kind of got to climb the ladder if you're going to be against slavery, though. It's kind of brilliant what he did. He's like, yeah, I'm going to move up the ladder and establish some abolitionist cause.
Right, but see, that's part of what was amazing about Hamilton is that he came from very humble beginnings, which is part of why he was anti-slavery. He grew up in a town where he saw and interacted with slaves on like a personal basis.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't just some magic person who grew up, you know, and just said, I've come to the realization that slavery is wrong. No, he had personal experiences with people and climbed the social and political hierarchy into power and managed to maintain his beliefs about slavery being wrong.
That's tough to do.
It's very tough to do. Something Quinton fucking couldn't do. But no.
I brought up the picture. It's probably up. It's probably been up for 20 seconds. I don't know. I think you might be able to see nipple in this picture. It's kind of crazy.
Not that hot, Adam. Not that hot.
What? What are you talking about?
That must be why he cheated on her. He was like,
Going to bring up the black wife?
He didn't cheat on, no, that was Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, you're right. It was Thomas.
Yeah, that was
Jefferson.
Hamilton. Who, I believe Jefferson and Hamilton were like rivals. So there you go.
They're all rivals.
Well, no, because Hamilton was a Federalist and Jefferson was an anti-Federalist or a Republican, I believe.
Sure.
It feels unavoidable to bring up the notorious fan art of Hamilton characters which has been floating around for a few months now, which takes the mutations of the characters one step further by making them canonical, woke, trans, gay, people of color.
Oh my God.
Alexander Hamilton, gender fluid, he, she, they pronouns, works at Barnes & Noble with Angelica. Competitive gamer, Smash Bros, and Pokemon. Philip Hamilton.
So this is obviously awful, right? Obviously this is terrible. But
it's funny.
It's fine. But
closeted furry.
Right. Yeah, closeted furry. Philip Hamilton, closeted furry. Uses nya unironically. Okay. Look.
Oh, that's funny.
This is yes.
Buys binders for the needy.
For the needy trans youth. Okay. Look. It's all terrible.
Do you know what a binder is?
I know he's talking about chest binder.
Yeah, totally. So you can like flatten out your breasts.
Yeah, exactly. No, I thought he was buying I thought he was buying like binders for papers.
I thought you might have made that mistake.
He's buying folders for people. No. Look, all this art, I agree. It's really lame. It's terrible. Okay, but here's the but though. Here's the but. I don't care. I don't care what some individual kid does. They like Hamilton. They're woke. They want to make Hamilton even woker, so they draw a bunch of fucking weird fan fiction, fan art of them in modern times being non-binary. Whatever. Who cares? I don't care. And it's funny to me that you would think that Quinton and the other woke people would be happy about this. They're like, oh, this is like modern mythology. They're taking the positive aspects of historical figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're kind of using it to their advantage. right? They want it's like Thomas Jefferson literally did this with Jesus. He took the Bible and he said, I think Jesus had many great things to say about morality, but I don't believe in any of that hooey miracles and all that stuff. So Thomas Jefferson rips out all the supernatural elements of the Bible and he releases just his own version of the Bible, which is just the moral stories and the moral imperatives in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so someone's sort of doing, obviously that's not the same thing with this, but they're taking aspects of founding fathers and they're putting it through their own terrible woke lens. Fine, whatever. At least maybe they're imparting some wisdom of the founding fathers in their lives. And you'd think Quinton would be happy about that, but he's like, no, he's not happy because the actual founding fathers were all terrible, straight, cis white men, Adam. You can't humanize them. That's what the enemy wants.
Oh, that's so funny. Why not?
Hamilton.
Why can't we humanize them? Hey,
I don't know. He never answers the question.
Philip Hamilton has something in common with you here. It says bossy, a bit conceited, likes to be in charge. Look at that. This is Sitch. We need to find this meme.
Goes by Philly.
I don't go by Philly cheese. No, but what you just said was a great point. Why is this bad?
It's not.
Like from Quinton's perspective, why is it bad?
He never answers.
I don't think he
Quinton,
ever
let us know in the
explains
comments below.
Yes.
Why is
what
this
your problem
terrible?
is?
Are we supposed to hate white people or what? I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Can't we humanize people? It seems like a good idea. If we can humanize a tire, we can humanize people.
How's this? Yeah, exactly. How's this guy's pronouns he, she, and they? You can't have all of them. Okay, you got to pick like a set, right?
That's actually all of them. That's pretty pragmatic right there. Like whatever. Just hit me up with a pronoun.
Cheese, president of the drama club, closeted furry. Thomas Jefferson, who is wearing a Hatsu Miku binder and a shirt that says, I met God, she's black. Furry, taking Japanese lessons, thinks he can cook, but can't. Obsessed with anime.
How
was there even anime back then?
Yeah, no. But like, it's funny. Like this was drawn by like some 14-year-old girl on Tumblr.
Totally.
And she's like, oh, Quinton Review. I love that guy. And she's watching his video and he sees her mocking her art and she's just like heartbroken.
Oh man. Quinton, you broke some girl's heart.
I know. So evil. At least the person that drew this picture would never watch our content. So they're never going to see us mocking it.
John's former drug dealer. Interesting.
Free Barnes & Noble. John's former drug dealer. Used to be addicted to cocaine. Okay, so we're just going to erase all this. We're going to write in invented the swivel chair. Is a child okay, so
see? That's the answer.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that true? That's not true.
I don't know the age of the slave that he was involved with. Let's see. Thomas Jefferson.
So he raped a slave? Is that what? Interesting. I didn't know.
Sally Hemings.
They didn't teach me any of this stuff. And
well, we learned about Sally Hemings.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. I learned it was consensual though. In my.
Well, yeah, I guess. But the question is, if you're slaved to someone,
can it really be consensual? I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not. Probably impossible to be consensual.
Sally Hemings was born in 1773.
Look, you're doing the math. Holy cow.
I want to see how old she was.
We get to the bottom here.
Let's get to the bottom this year. Dun, 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 dun. So most historians believe Jefferson and Hemings' sexual relationship began while they were in France, which would mean that she was 14 at the time. There you go.
Wow. It's a little young.
It's a little young. Though actually, I don't know if that's young for that time period.
Right. You're like...
Well, but that's important, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, I dated 14-year-old girls when I was 14.
No, but I'm saying Quinton was just complaining about having a protagonist embody modern values.
Oh yeah, totally. You got to throw the modern values in there.
Right, exactly. Right. So, no, but see, what that's really that's the key here. He doesn't like that people are taking historical figures and not just saying they were evil rapists, slave owners, cishet white men.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't
doesn't
like
want
that.
you to humanize him. Doesn't want you to mythologize him. We have to remember
Right.
all the. He wants to basically remember all the bad things. He doesn't want to remember any of the good things.
Right. I mean, and imagine being so stupid about history that you're going to, I guess it's for a joke maybe, but you're going to relegate Jefferson to two things: the swivel chair and having sex with a 14-year-old slave. Like,
Jeez.
that's all his contributions to history. We're just
Wow.
gonna ignore everything else.
Swivel chair is pretty cool though.
That's true. That changed the world.
An obvious clarification as we go about mocking these, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being gender fluid or trans or gay. There's not even anything weird about it.
Do you like that he has to like?
I know he's got a
this out.
virtue signal. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got to embody the morality of his own time. I wonder if
Please.
Quinton Reviews is a moral relativist.
I bet he is. I bet he is.
Well, he's contradicting himself then. Because who are
But
we
it's
to
funny-
judge?
To see historical figures in the past be depicted in ways that they just weren't. And in
Really? Like in Hamilton, they're depicted as black people singing, which obviously they weren't in real life. That's kind of the magic of fiction, right? And
Yeah.
storytelling. Yes. If you made a real movie about any real person, it would be and you had all the real details of their life, how boring would that be? Like 90% of it would be them like brushing their teeth, pooping,
Exactly.
eating. Like it'd be like all the mundanities of life. Like who wants to see that?
No one.
Yeah, it's like, this is ridiculous.
You had to cut
entirely
shit
to
out.
romanticize them in ways that they don't deserve. When I first
There you go. See,
Yeah.
they don't deserve it, Adam.
Yeah, he wants to make him the bad guy.
The founding fathers.
Scene
don't
one.
deserve it.
The raping.
Well, so but here's where Quentin's a fucking idiot. Okay, again, he's always an idiot, but here's where he's an idiot again. Okay, he doesn't understand something that we've talked about a lot, which is that it's important for people to have positive role models to aspire to show them that they can succeed, right?
Hell yeah.
So isn't it a good thing if you have, people who are in, historically oppressed communities, if they can, even if it's not based on facts. Okay, we'll go back to Paul Vanderklay. Okay, he would totally be on board with this, even if it's not based on historical fact. To have the tool available to people in oppressed communities to look at the founding fathers as heroes to aspire to, just as equally as the white population could. That's a great thing, isn't it? Isn't that an amazing thing that we should all be in favor of?
Yeah, we have to have a shared narrative that works. We definitely do.
Right. But Quentin doesn't understand that. That didn't even enter his mind. So he just says, no. These historical figures don't deserve it. Okay. You must always tie them down with the ball and chain of all their faults and flaws so that no one can ever have anyone to ever look up to or aspire to unless they're actually some sort of perfect God being and the right skin color, according to Quentin.
Does Quentin have any heroes? I wonder.
I wonder. I mean, should we
Oh, he
criticize
does. He likes ContraPoints. That's his hero.
There you go. Should we criticize like a Martin Luther King movie because it doesn't focus on like the fact that he probably cheated on his wife? Like, does that mean that the movie about Martin Luther King Jr. is not
We should
valid
make that
anymore?
movie. We should make the movie where he's just like the cheating Martin Luther King. I think that
Yeah,
movie would
exactly. It'd be fucking awful.
be super
right?
woke.
Right, or I forget, like, I mean, there's so many, all like the historical figures like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, like they all have like dark shit going on.
They do.
Like, really bad stuff going on. And the fact it's like, okay, well, do we need to focus on that all the time? Does it always need to be brought up? Or maybe it's not about what these people deserve, right? Because those people are dead. So who gives a shit? They don't deserve anything. They're dead. Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe it's more important that these characters act as heroes and mythological figures for people to aspire to.
Yeah, this is a problem too. With even if you were going to create characters out of whole cloth, if they don't have any faults or flaws, they're just going to be boring characters. They're never going to catch on.
Well, see, maybe that's the problem. That's why all the woke people, whenever they write a character, it's always like the annoying Mary Sue with no
Totally.
faults because they don't understand those.
It's true. It's true.
To Hamilton, I would sometimes fantasize about what would happen if someone took a time machine and brought the real Hamilton to the present to see his very own musical. Would he be...
Isn't that interesting that he's so woke that as he's watching this play, all he's thinking about is, what would the real slave-owning white men think if they saw this play? They'd be like, oh, I hate black people. Like this is where his mind goes when he's watching Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't think they hated black people. I just don't think they thought about it. It was totally fucking out of their minds, which is part of what makes it so bad.
I mean, and first of all, and I would disagree. I believe that if you had a time machine and you showed Alexander Hamilton this, who was vehemently against slavery, he would be so overjoyed. He'd say, oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah. America has evolved beyond caring about race. And how wrong he would be, but he would think that based on this play.
He'd be like, I got it right. He's like, I got it right.
Exactly. But then he would hear Quinton Reviews saying, yeah, but what about his wife? And he'd go, oh, God.
Hey, my time machine. You go back to your time.
So we should do some super chats. How about we do some
super let's chats, do it.
Adam? The Wooster for $5 says, Alpha Chad cartoonist Scott Adams destroyed the beta virgin artist Adam and sidekick Sage by being right that Kamala Harris is Biden's running mate. Wait a minute. Did either of us ever doubt that Kamala Harris would be Biden's running mate?
Yeah. I didn't really doubt that. No.
Oh, no, yeah.
I thought
we both said that. We both publicly said that on stream many times that Camille would probably be chosen. The Wooster.
The cynical thing about it, though, is the reason she was chosen, and the reason even Scott Adams was saying that she would be chosen, or because he originally said that she would win the nomination.
Right.
It's so cynical, isn't it? I mean, he's saying he basically came out in the very beginning. Yeah, exactly. She ticks all the boxes. She's like the perfect pick. I was thinking, yeah, and she's totally unlikable and doesn't know how to talk and cackles like a stoned chick at a party. Like, no, like, who cares about all the superficial stuff?
Yeah, but you see, I guess everything. Scott Adams' point is that can be changed. Mm-hmm. You can change your behavior. You can't change the boxes you tick off.
Yeah, that's so wrong.
I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see if Camilla can have a better presence, better charisma going forward in the future.
What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen?
I have no clue. I think it's possible. I mean, she's been a politician for a long time. Politicians are generally decent at being the chameleon and changing themselves.
Who do you think is going to win the election?
Oh, I don't know. Okay. I told you, I don't know. I think it's going to be very close either way. I think it's going to be very close.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Zara Richard for $5 says, where's Mahler and the other guy? This ain't EFAP. That's true.
You got the wrong channel, bud.
Got the wrong channel, Zara. He knows. Zara knows. He's just fucking with us. Benedict T for $2 says, Adam getting cucked by Hamilton the musical.
True. In the car all the time. It's awful.
It's true. Adam's driving around in the car. His wife's playing Hamilton, blasting it off as loud as she can.
Drives me crazy. Drives me nuts.
I want you to tell your wife that I want her to film you.
Oh my God.
In the car with Hamilton blaring and being angry about it.
There'll be a lot of eye rolling in that video.
I want to see that. Chat, we want to see that. We're going to demand that video from Adam. Okay. We're going to play it next week.
No demands.
You were demanding it. Everyone in chat demand it. Force Adam. Bully him into doing it. Adam B for £5 says, Jesus Christ Superstar popped into Macy's for a Wonder Bra.
Yeah, what did that mean? I saw it go by and I don't
know.
Okay.
He popped in the Macy's to buy a Wonder Bra. So did Jesus. Well, that's what
Non-binary
Jesus would do.
Jesus?
Jesus would buy a Wonder Bra for Mary, obviously. 95 Keat for $5 says, hasn't seen the Statue of Liberty, hasn't seen Hamilton. Do you even worship Uncle Sam? Hamilton is overrated, though.
I know.
I agree with everything you said, 95 Keat. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
John Masters for $5 says, I find it hilarious that Andrew Clavin and Michael Knowles arguably gave Hamilton more due credit in their review than this guy.
That is crazy. Those crazy right-wingers.
That is funny. I didn't even think about that. That is very funny. Dice 2K for $5 says, Adam, you made me so mad for what you said about the amazing musical Hamilton. I spent money to say you're wrong.
I guess, I mean, if you like it, obviously, I don't want to discourage anyone who likes a good musical. So, but it's just not my thing. And the reason I don't like musicals, maybe I can spoil some musicals for you guys. I just feel like when the songs come up, they are a halt to the movie. They might as well be a commercial because they don't move the story forward. There's just everything grinds to a halt so they can sing this song, and I just don't like that. I like the movie to keep moving. I like fast-paced movies. So musicals don't fit the bill. I don't watch them. What do you think of that?
How can we take story advice from someone who's never seen Aladdin?
Well, so is it, if you take out the songs, though, isn't it like really just a short?
If I said 95 Keith, I apologize. 95 Keith.
Oh.
That's my answer to your question.
Oh, doesn't sound like it. But anyway, we can move on.
Daniel Collective 1499 says, why do I feel like all the praise for Hamilton was veiled praise for the reviewers themselves for the fact that they enjoyed something with black people? I agree with that comment.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Everyone's slapping themselves on the back about how much they like Hamilton.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's woke. I love it.
Have you seen Paint Your Wagon, Adam?
No.
Okay.
Is that a movie? I'll look it
Yeah,
up.
it's a musical.
Come on, guys.
Jesus Christ. Jonathan Stoffel brings up a good point. He says, plot happens during songs in Aladdin. That is very true. The plot does happen in many songs in Aladdin.
How so?
The song Aladdin is getting cornered by the guards, and you see him stealing and then giving the food up to like a poor kid. It's all his entire setup is the song, I think. The first song.
Really?
Of his character. Jasmine falling in love with Aladdin is told through the song.
But it's like one plot point per song, right?
Generally, sure. Oh, now we need more than one plot point. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on from this. Thunderson4228 for $10. Message retracted, but thank you for the $10, Thunderson. Stug for $2 says, Adam unfriended for musicals. You know what? That's right. That's right. That's how you know S-Class. A-Team over here doesn't like musicals. Internet Historian's in the chat. He says, I'm going to use oil-based paint because the wood is pine. Internet Historian likes musicals. Internet Historian probably loves musicals. He loves Aladdin. He has a soul, unlike Adam.
Man, I can't believe people aren't on my side on this, on the musicals thing. I thought everybody hated musicals. It's just me. I'm alone in this hatred for musicals.
You can't.
I mean,
no
I
one
love
dislikes
music.
Disney, the original Disney movies. Do you like? You haven't seen Mulan? I'm gonna make a man out of you, Adam. Okay.
That's Mulan.
Oh my god.
Hold on. I love music, and I love movies. But the two just don't go together. They don't go together. No, it's bad. It's not. This is not peanut butter and chocolate. This is a musical we're talking about here.
Okay. Lieutenant Amazon Friday says, I also don't watch musicals much, but if there was one musical to change Adam's mind, it has to be Avenue Q. I'm not familiar with that.
I think maybe I've seen Avenue Q. What? Enlightened Centrist says he's on my side. That's right.
He didn't even watch Disney. Oh no,
Sean Mack. I agree with Adam. Look, they're coming in. Yeah, people
I don't
fucking
know if
hate
anyone
musicals.
that hasn't watched Disney movies gets a wrench.
Not to use an LGBT slur, but musicals are gay. Come on.
Wow. Oh my God. Terrible. Terrible.
I love
Wait,
this.
Have you not seen South Park the movie?
I love this Danimal Collective for $4.99. I'm beginning to think
wait.
Adam's dislike of musicals might mean he's not gay. Maybe. Yes! Victory!
So, wait a minute. Have you not seen the South Park movie?
The South Park movie, I have seen. Yeah, totally. I think
That's a
we talked
musical.
about that in our...
That's a musical, Adam.
Is it really?
Yes.
I must have blocked it out because that part, I'm sure, bugged me. That's
Have you not
that's got
seen
the devil.
Book of Mormon?
That's
It's
got the,
so good.
I have seen the Book of Mormon. It's great. I love it.
And it's a musical.
I hate the musical part of it, though.
Oh my God.
Look, contrast. Adam is correct. Based Adam. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. So wrong.
Sitch.
So wrong.
Who
Doesn't like the songs in the Book of Mormon? Are you crazy?
Who in their right mind in 2020 likes musicals?
Everyone.
Only
that's
old
not
people.
You.
You said it yourself. You went to see Hamilton, and it was a bunch of old people.
Well, that's because no one. Who else is gonna buy $1 million tickets to see fucking Hamilton?
The young
but
people
I bet
don't
if you
like
look at their numbers
musicals.
on Disney Plus, it's like through the roof.
When I play games, I turn the music off.
Oh my God.
I do.
Wait,
I put my own music
what about?
on.
What about? I got
Adam
you
is
now.
right. Stanton High.
Wait,
Look at this. I
wait.
got some fans
I
coming
have
in.
you now.
Don't let
What
him get
about
away
the
with this.
original?
A team. Musicals suck.
The
Musicals suck.
The original
Musicals blow.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Fucking hated I hate the... Like I was... the remake is not a musical, right? Or is it? I can't remember.
Well, it has music in it.
Okay. Fuck musicals, dude. Willy Wonka.
Terrible.
I've seen Willy Wonka, but the music part of it sucked. I kept thinking,
He doesn't
why
like
did they
the
ruin
Oompa
the
Loompa
song?
songs, guys. He doesn't like Veronica Salt's "I Want It Now" song. Terrible. Terrible.
It's lame. Willy Wonka would be 10
Little
times
Shop
better
of
without
Horrors,
music.
Monkey Chips, Little
Never
Shop of
saw
Horrors.
Little
That's
Shop
another
of
good
Horrors
one.
because it's a musical. I think Willy Wonka was the one that convinced me musicals sucked.
Terrible.
There are popular movies that are musicals because there are old people in the world and we keep
Singing in the
manufacturing
Rain,
them.
classic old movie, great musical.
No, I keep the music on for Star Wars, but
Okay.
I never, well, not Star Wars a video game. I've never played Star Wars a video game.
You know what?
I killed Master Skarma.
I'm on team Aladdin. Okay, if you don't like Aladdin, you're done. You're done.
Killed
You're
Master
done, kid.
Skarma's turned on me here.
Done.
That's sad.
Okay.
He says I paused my game just to make fun of Adam's hating musicals.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, Daniel Collective 1 for $4.99 says, how awful. People interested in learning about the founding members of their country based on pop culture? Inconceivable. Clearly, this is racist. I know.
Yeah.
It is inconceivable. Stuart King for $2 Aussie bucks says, Adam, Jesus wants to give you a brand new Sequoia.
Yeah, I love it. They're quoting Carjackers for Jesus, which is not a musical. One of the best pieces of cinema you can find here on YouTube. Look it up, Carjackers for Jesus. You'll love it.
Some weird guy for $5 says, Sitch, it's time to gather the shadow people, ER and Literature Devil, and confront the long man, Mahler, about his flawed takes on Avatar. Hi, Adam.
Oh, what's up?
I agree. We should do that.
Avatar The Last Airbender or the Avatar with the blue people?
Avatar The Last Airbender. Yes.
Okay. I started watching that the other day.
Wait a minute. Oh, you did? How'd you like it? Well, it's like for kids. You might not like it.
Yeah.
But...
Seemed a little kiddie, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, most of us have watched it when we were like 10 or 11.
Yeah,
but it gets
when all of you
the
were
first
10, I was
season-
out chasing girls and getting...
Yeah, I know, because you're an
doing
old man.
LSD.
But
So-
yeah, exactly. But no, like the first season is the most kiddie, and then after that it becomes significantly darker and more adult. But
These
I
comments.
forgot what I was going to say.
These people are hilarious. Hold on.
I had another amazing musical that I was going to slam you with. and I totally forgot.
Ruby's Good Brain Coffee. This is why Hillary Clinton called Adam an
Oh.
irredeemable deplorable.
Did you not like Prince of Egypt?
Prince of Egypt. Oh, I never watched Prince of Egypt.
Oh,
What are all these
no.
movies?
Everyone loves Prince of Egypt. That's like blasphemy to say it's bad.
Well, maybe I'll like it.
Okay. I don't know. You hate musicals. Oh, here's what I was going to say. I was going to say, Adam, you don't like Fiddler on the Roof, you anti-Semite?
Oh, look at you. I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof, but I'm sure if I saw it, I would absolutely love it. I love musicals now.
Of course. Or Labyrinth. I forgot about Labyrinth. Yeah. Well, it's like he might like that because it's got Muppets in it. So, or not Muppets, but
My
puppets.
wife loves Labyrinth. My wife loves musicals. She does love musicals, and it's one of the major contentions in our marriage.
So, sounds like she got all the good taste in the relationship.
Because she doesn't. She wants to watch a musical, and I'll be like,
Derek Drummond 499 says, Quinton, I watched a documentary about how trains were made, and they didn't discuss slavery. 0 out of 10. Yes. Thank you.
Slavery must be in every movie.
Yes, apparently. Daniel Collective 1 for 499 says, the ideal woke movie is 90 minutes of Passion of the Christ-esque whipping of black people and the camera turning to a crying Robin DiAngelo at the end.
Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Make it happen.
Jonathan Stoffel says, I was in a high school production of Fiddler on the Roof, and I still managed to have a child. I like that. Baron of Bellingen says, PSA Sitch based as fuck S-Class. Thank you.
I saw that. I never thought my downfall would be musicals.
Jay Marino 09 for $5 says, by the logic of characters representing the audience, Hamilton also furthers the shared goal of including all Americans of present day into founding ideals. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, that's good.
Alexandra Mosley for 499 says, haven't seen it in a while, but I'm pretty sure Emma Stone was questioned for being anti-racist in The Help. It's funny.
Oh, really?
Corporal Noobs for €2 says, the Scots proved humans take patterns over pants. There you go. That's true. They did do that. Desert Runner for $10 dingo dollars, 10 didgeridoo says, how dare you mofos take a week off? Hope you enjoyed the time off. When is the next call-in show?
I'm not sure. We can do one during the week.
We can do one during the week, maybe. Maybe we'll do one during the week. Derek Drummond for $2.99 says, have you guys seen the Uzaki-chan nonsense? Yes. Have you seen that?
Hell yeah, I did one. I made one. It got up to 70, I think like 77 likes. I couldn't believe it. It was just like a response. I was like, oh, okay, people like this. I did mine between the planet of Saturn and Jupiter. And her boobs are kind of squished between them. So, yes.
That's funny.
Out of this world.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's so weird. They're like, oh, this anime girl, she has like big tits, but she's short and looks like a child. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know what child she thinks she looks like. She looks like every anime, like generic anime character I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know what. This sounds like racism. Maybe they're just racist against Japanese art. I think that's what's happening here. Maybe that's the way we should frame this.
Oh, that's a perfect framing of it. Here, I brought mine up.
There you go. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thundersun4228 for $5 says, interpretation of mythology is in all the wrong ways possible. Are we talking about this video or are you talking about last stream?
Probably last stream.
95 Keat for $5 says, why is Quinton bringing up some random girl's fan art like it's a legitimate point? Because he's mad that how dare modern people in modern times not talk about the founding fathers as being the horrible white racist bigot slave-owning rapists that they were. How dare they try to impart their values in modern times? Terrible. It's terrible.
Did we get any more fan art? Because I got a piece of fan art like a week ago, and we took last week off, so I didn't get a chance to show it.
I don't remember. We probably did.
Christopher did this amazing drawing of me actually without tits, which I think looks
without tits. I don't know if I want to see a drawing of Adam without tits.
I know. It's hard to imagine, but it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, you'll hate it, but just
no. I only want to see Adam with tits. Um, that is a really good drawing though. That's a
It's
really good
cool,
drawing.
huh? I like
Very
it.
cool. Yeah. Larson Wolf for 499 says, "Hey, got in a Facebook argument with communists. Is the reptilian conspiracy theory anti-Semitic? Made a lizard joke and got called an anti-Semite. An anti-Semite. Not on its own. The reptilian conspiracy is not necessarily anti-Semitic. Some people that believe the Jews are the lizard people, but it's not on its own anti-Semitic. So you can tell a person they're stupid and wrong, and I'm Jewish, so I know what I'm talking about. You can say you have the official Jew pass to use reptilian conspiracy theory jokes. Booyah. Shabbat shalom, motherfuckers. Daniel Collective 1 for 499 says, I'm beginning to think Adam's just like a musicals might mean he's not gay. Oh,
yeah, I know.
I don't know. I think Adam's pretty gay. Lieutenant Amazil for $5 says, the songs get in the way of the story and the plot. This is precisely how I feel about Frozen.
Yeah. Is Frozen a musical? Because I haven't seen that either.
It has music in it.
Makes
yes.
perfect
it's a Disney
sense.
Movie, Adam.
Yeah. God, these musicals. Disney, get your act together. Stop with the music.
So
lay off.
Even though
nobody wants that shit.
Even though I don't like Moana very much, the song You're Welcome is one of the greatest Disney songs of all time. And Adam will never experience the joy of You're Welcome.
Just send me a link. I'll listen to it on YouTube. Don't stop your crybabiness.
Derek Drummond for $2.99 says Rocky Horror is the best musical. There you go. Adam hates it.
Rocky Horror?
Yeah.
I've been to Rocky
with Rick
Horror.
Moranis, the big plant that eats people.
I've been to Rocky Horror.
I'm sorry.
I'm
that's
cultured.
Little Shop of Horrors. I'm sorry. That's the Little Shop of Horrors. Rocky Horror is the one with, what's his name? Skullmaster. Oh, God. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah, you're right.
Let's do the time warp again. Yes.
Yeah.
You like Rocky Horror?
It's okay. I mean, I used to go for the girls, but.
Okay. But I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Rocky Horror fan either. Very Dead Horse for 499 says, as a person who acted in about a half a dozen of them, I agree that most musicals are dumb. How's that for centrism? There you go. There you go.
Good. I like it.
CT for $1 says she regrets us singing happy birthday to her grandma.
Good.
No, she says, I'm just joking. Thank you all.
Hope she likes it.
Literature Devil's Discord wife for $5 say, I want to say Stitch is a great guy, but he always makes me cry because he refuses to do what I tell him to do.
That's Zofrats, by the way.
Woman. Typical woman.
Just so you guys know, that's Zofrats.
Trying to use tears to manipulate a strong man.
White woman tears.
White woman tears. A DJ Crunk Factory for $3 says, Adam, would you go see the Book of Mormon? You should.
I have seen the Book of Mormon. Yeah, we got tickets for that. Yeah, we saw it. It was really good. It was.
You didn't like Hasadima Ingowe song?
I went after we went and saw it. I went to the internet and listened to a bunch of the songs and saw like the different people. We got really lucky because we got some really good people. Because they're not all the same. They use different actors and whatnot. Obviously, you guys know that.
Yeah, of course. What about what was the song America's Moses superhero?
I can't remember the song.
The song about how like Moses did all these like fake things. It was so funny, Adam. Adam just hates things that are good, I think that's the problem.
That goes directly against my campaign slogan. Adam is for good things. Only good things.
I don't know. Look, because of okay, guys.
The new campaign slogan. If you run for political office, do you have to act like you like musicals even when you can't stand them?
I hate to say this, guys, but I think because of recent revelations, I may have to leave being campaign manager for Adam's 2020 bid for presidency. I just don't see how a candidate who hates Disney movies could possibly win. It's just not possible. It's just not possible.
I'm trying to think. I don't like musicals, but there's got to be some Disney movies that I like.
Well, you like all the Pixar movies because there's no music.
Oh, I love the Pixar movies. Yeah, Wall-E. Oh my God, incredible! Yeah. It's funny because when the Pixar movies came out, I started thinking, "Oh, finally Disney got rid of the fucking music." God damn it! I remember seeing Toy Story and thinking, God, I hope there's not music in this.
You got a friend in me.
Yeah.
You got a friend in me.
Is there singing in Toy Story? There's not, is there?
There's the Randy Newman song. Well, it's not. The characters aren't singing, but there's
like
a song in.
One. Okay, yeah.
Do you not like Randy Newman?
If there's like a little bit of a song
Short
in there.
people got no reason to live. Do, 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 do.
Where's My Mind in Fight Club is amazing. So music in movies is fine, but
I see. As long as the characters aren't singing the music.
Exactly.
You didn't like the Buffy musical episode? That's like everyone's favorite episode.
Oh
of Buffy.
my God, my wife went nuts for that. She's a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan.
That was such a funny episode.
No.
Oh God.
Torture. Two things I hate: Buffy the Vampire Slayer and musicals.
You don't like Buffy the
Oh
Vampire
my
Slayer?
God, you don't like
Oh my
Buffy?
God. That's like classic 90s television, Adam. So good.
I like Rubber, okay? Get over it.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar was hot, okay? Like it even had like hot chicks for you to ogle at.
I didn't say I didn't like Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
Come on now.
The Love Doctor 69 all day for 150 says, "Hey fellas, I know this isn't related, but have you seen the Chauvin body cam? To me, it seems as though the cops were being pretty reasonable, and Floyd worked himself up and gave himself a heart attack. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm curious what you think."
I mean, I saw it. Yeah, the toxicology report came back. He was on a bunch of drugs too, right? I mean, he was resisting.
They found fentanyl, pot, and I believe meth in his system.
Jeez, what a cocktail!
So I saw the body cam. I didn't see Derek Chauvin's body cam. I thought it was a body cam of someone else. My take on it is that, I mean, obviously I'm not sure. I don't think he should have put his knee on the guy's back or neck for so long. I don't know why they did that. I don't think they're going to get convicted of murder at all, based on toxicology report, based on the body cam, which shows that Floyd was saying he couldn't breathe before he was ever put on the ground. Like he couldn't breathe because he's obviously having a panic attack or heart attack, which you could say they're very negligent for not monitoring that beforehand. And I would imagine that if someone's having a panic attack or a heart attack, that pushing them on the ground like that doesn't help the situation.
That's hilarious.
Probably exacerbate the situation. But
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at the tragedy.
Adam's laughing at
I know.
tragedy.
I'm not. No,
George
Mahler's
Floyd.
in the chat, and he says,
Okay.
"I hate Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Dead to me."
Yeah. See. I was so funny because as soon as he said that, I was like, I should tell Mahler. Adam hates. Buffy
I know.
The Vampire
Too
Slayer.
late. I already got busted.
So bad.
And I just,
So
I'm
bad.
like here laughing. That's why I had to mention that I'm laughing at Mahler in the chat because I'm laughing at the most sinister. Like you're talking about the Floyd, the George Floyd situation. And I'm here laughing my ass.
It's fine.
No.
We'll move on.
Yeah.
DJ Crunk Factory for $3 says Black people invented jazz, blues, rock, and hip hop.
We lost it.
That's a lot to be proud of. They have Frederick Douglass to look up to. Isn't it condescending to pretend? Oh, am I back?
We lost you there for a second.
Okay. DJ Crunk Factory for $3 says Black people invented jazz, blues, rock, and hip hop. That's a lot to be proud of. They have Frederick Douglass to look up to. Isn't it condescending to pretend like the founding fathers are black? Imagine how they'd feel when they find out it wasn't true. No one's pretending like the founding fathers were black. They're by having them be cast by people of various races, you're elevating them above their race. So I don't think anyone's pretending that they're black.
Yeah.
Paradox for $1 says, I'm not sure how Sitch's cool avatar background works, but I do know how super chats work. I see something wrong. I need to super chat about it. Why did it start being choppy between streams? Is my background being choppy, Adam?
I slowed down your background because I thought it was distracting, but I guess people could give me feedback on whether faster or slower is good.
There you go. David Aragon for $1 says, I'll never stop saying this. Quinton is becoming movie Bob. Very true. Very true. Paradox for $1 says, Adam, what the fuck? Tire? Did you know what is the difference between a black person and a tire? Jeez, Adam, you racist. Obviously, when you put chains on a tire, it won't start rapping.
Oh my God. That was
Jesus
10 times
Christ.
more racist than what I
Terrible.
said.
Boo, Paradox. How dare you? Disavow, disavow. Nathan Ravenstein for 143 says, Sitch, your eloquent way of explaining the importance of perspective and narrative inspires me. We have to call to action, reframe how we read and tell stories in the West. Now I'm going to teach a lesson on it in a few hours. Oh, great. Glad I can help. Nathan also says for another 143, it's never felt more important to be an English teacher. Kids' minds are so easily manipulated. They need tools for discernment. Religion provided that for years, or was supposed to. With increasing secularism, kids lack the guidance to identify snakes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm curious how that goes with. Is this woke stuff? Are they warring in the school over this, or is everyone just?
I'm sure they are.
I know
Sure they
it's
are.
got to be so bad.
Faduka for $1 says, if men of the 21st century are allowed to own an iPhone and oppose capitalism, men of the 18th century should be allowed to own slaves and oppose slavery. There you go. Yeah, see, isn't this that meme where the guy's like, oh, you oppose something but participate in society, therefore you're a hypocrite.
Oh my God! Holy cow! It's the exact same thing.
Meme. Yeah, so thanks, Faduka Jix. That was a good point. The Love Doctor 150 says, also sorry for the hearing of the passing of your wife's friend, Adam. Do you guys have any thoughts on if Edward Snowden will get pardoned? Personally, I hope he will, but isn't it weird that the Dems are against pardoning him now? How did that happen?
You want to take the second part first?
Sure. I mean, Democrats said, well, I'm trying to remember. I think most of the mainstream Democrats were against Snowden originally, weren't they? Like, I don't think there was a big role reversal. Trying to remember.
On Snowden? It seemed like
On
everyone was
Snowden.
pretty much united against Snowden.
Yeah,
even
I think
Obama.
Was united against him. I'm fine with him being pardoned. I don't have a problem with Snowden. I am skeptical if Trump will pardon him or not. I'll believe it when he does it. That'd be interesting. Definitely will be interesting, and definitely will put the Democrats in a very interesting position politically. So we'll see.
And yeah, I didn't mention it because I didn't want to bomb the show out, but we missed, just since you brought it up, we missed the show last week because my wife's best friend passed away suddenly. She was only 41 years old, which is just fucking crazy. So she's been kind of a mess over that. So, you know, obviously sucks, but life is unfair.
Yeah. Johnny Saffel for $1 says, if Quinton was in an early 90s educational cartoon, it would be the Magic Toolbox and he'd be an anthropomorphic wet blanket. I like that. Contrast for 143 says, oi, cunts! Disney movies are awesome. South Park movies awesome. Prince of Egypt is fucking awesome. Wait a minute, I love musicals. I'm inherently S-class, but agree with Adam that singing parts can ruin a movie, be a sudden violent gust of wind. Yeah, if Mahler, if you're still in the chat, Adam not only hates Buffy, he hates all musicals. Okay, all musicals. He doesn't like Aladdin. He doesn't like Mulan. He doesn't like Lion King. He doesn't like anything good. It's all the worst.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of those movies, just simply on
the fact.
Because you
refuse, because they're musicals.
Yeah, exactly. The musical part comes in and it just kind of like drives me insane.
God.
But you're saying that it shouldn't drive me insane. I don't know. I feel like I feel like what you're doing is a little, I mean, these are immutable characteristics that I hold, and you're kind of making fun of them.
So when we have androids in the future and we have to figure out like who's the robot and who's like the person with a soul, they're going to say, how do you feel about this musical? And that's going to be the test to determine who the real people are.
Musicals are the Turing test? Is that what you're trying to say? Come
yes,
on.
that's what I'm telling you. Musicals are the Turing test. And Adam will fail and he will be purged with the rest of the androids by accidents when that day comes.
What do I do when the music comes on and I want to kill myself? Like, how do I deal with this issue? I mean, it really is unnerving for me.
That's so weird.
I'm like, why can't we just get on with the movie? I get it. You're talking about choruses that repeat over and over again. You're like, I get it.
Adam's the kind of guy who's like, he's at the Grand Canyon and he's watching the sunset on the horizon. He's like, why can't the sun just set? Why do we have to like sit through this process of a beautiful sky? Okay, like just set already.
You're supposed to be enjoying it. I got it.
Yes, you're supposed to be enjoying the experience, Adam. Come on.
Oh man.
Adam, when you have sex, are you like, why are we having sex for so long? Why can't I just come and be done with it? Like, let's just get on with it, okay?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, no, I'm kidding, obviously. Come on. I'm like a 12-hour man.
Of course.
We must make it last all night long.
Poor wife. 12 hours and you won't even treat her to a musical afterwards. Terrible.
That's incredible.
Lemmer Wrench for $1 says, I don't understand this idea that it won't be accessible to people of color unless it features people of color. I don't need people to share superficial demographic traits to be able to relate to them. As long as the characters display some humanity, that's enough. I agree with you. It
Totally.
shouldn't have to be that way.
Totally.
Sure. But I do think there is merit in providing people to look up to that share your immutable characteristics.
Yeah,
I agree that we should all evolve beyond that, but unfortunately, I think that's a process.
They brought this up in the debate yesterday with Ethan Van Sciver. The fact that they're using like basically tokens to do these characters that are completely unlikable hurts their cause, because nobody wants to see an unlikable character. Like, the reason we look past skin color and like sexual orientation, all those things, is because they make these characters that we fall in love with. We're like, it doesn't matter that they're black or a woman or gay or whatever. That character's awesome. Yeah. But when they do a character that's terrible, like that defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
Right. Sure. But my real question is, where is Gemini Semini? I bet he is heartbroken that his love Adam doesn't like musicals. That's whose opinion I want to see.
He's heartbroken by that super chat of Danimal Collective for sure.
He's gonna make you. Okay, he's gonna show you the truth that's been hiding deep inside of you.
It's not Gemini, it's Gemini, I believe.
Yeah, I like saying Gemini.
Okay. You got me saying it too. I'm like, that's
anyway,
not
let's continue with the video. Get rid of the big tits and the super chat logo. All that stuff.
We should.
Is it off?
No, of course not. Still working on it.
Work on it faster.
Done.
Okay.
What was that? Was that a whip crack?
That was me whipping Adam, who is my white slave. Yes.
Racist.
You're white, and I'm Jewish. I have oppression points over you, so therefore you can be my slave, and I can feel guilt-free.
I got no oppression points here. God damn, life is so unfair.
Overwhelmed by his story being told in such a beautiful way, his legend lasting so long? Would he be shocked at how the story ends, or taken aback at how beautifully his life seemed to be wrapped up?
So that those that don't remember, he talked for an hour, Quinton was asking, how would Alexander Hamilton feel if he saw his own play?
Mm-hmm.
I think he would think it's amazing. He would be so happy that his legacy has lasted for fucking hundreds of years.
The answer I eventually found myself coming to every single time is that he would probably say something insanely racist. And the question
oh my God. What would that insanely racist thing be?
He's mind reading a historical figure who's dead now, who was against slavery, so much so that they started an organization whose sole job was to abolish it in the state that he lived.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's going to say something insanely racist about his legacy living on and being portrayed by not a white actor.
Yeah. There will probably be N-words included.
One has to wonder is, why is Hamilton so obsessed with preserving these characters and going out of its way to underplay parts in their stories? And I think the reason is...
They don't underplay parts in their stories. It's a play about a very specific thing and about very specific events in his life. And Quentin is just mad that the one part of it that he wants it to be, they don't really focus on, because Quentin only wants to watch everything through the lens of, I must deconstruct all media to find out where it's racist and oppressive.
Primarily, that Lin-Manuel Miranda, as a founding father geek, has attached himself to Hamilton. He identifies with him. And in the same way that personal identification with Jefferson might cause you to rewrite him to be a coked-up gamer obsessed with anime titties, Miranda's identification with Hamilton causes the story to be crafted with him as the inevitably glamorized, unsung hero of history. And this play...
Don't you think...
Is that like a self-insert right there?
Yeah, like, if you're going to make this pretty bold claim that the author of the play has failed their duty because they've basically created a self-insert fan fiction of putting themselves as Alexander Hamilton, shouldn't he have, like, evidence for that claim?
Oh, definitely. But these things don't. Evidence. Come on. That's like a lot of work.
Shouldn't he have, like, an interview with the guy where he talks about, like, how I feel like I'm the re-embodiment of Alexander Hamilton or something? Like, I don't know. Maybe he gets to it later in the video. I don't remember. But
you do remember, obviously.
I don't remember. I watched this video. I watched this video like 3 weeks ago, Adam. I don't remember.
This musical, Hamilton the Musical, is, by the way, one of the most beautiful stories you'll ever see if you go in blindly accepting that it's all valid.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Quinton saw this movie or this musical, and he's like, "This is so beautiful, but I hate it because I must deconstruct it. It didn't show Hamilton being racist and owning slaves. Oh, they're trying to trick me and manipulate me into liking the founding fathers. It's so horrible."
What's so bad about that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah.
What is so bad about that?
I mean, he's not doing any harm now, right?
He's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny too, because it's also like, we've talked about this a lot. What is more helpful for people now? Is it that people can aspire to a positive role model, or is it for people to constantly be beat over the head with the history of their oppression?
Positive role model by like a country mile.
Yes.
One of the best is how Miranda packages the story as a sort of meta-narrative, as the characters are constantly stressing if their stories would be told and who would end up telling them. In his final moments, Hamilton compares his life to notes at the beginning of a song that someone else will sing for me. The play is, itself, all that the main character hopes to exist in the future. His desire to make a difference and have a lasting impact is proven at every moment that the narrative continues to sprout. But of course, as we have to remember, the Hamilton we see on stage isn't who the person actually was. So it's beautiful in the context of the Hamilton that Lin-Manuel creates, and
yeah. What's
the
up?
Hamilton we see on stage is not who Hamilton was.
Yeah, you're supposed to dig up the body and resurrect him. Don't you know that?
Yeah, what is he suggesting here?
Yeah, come on, a little witchcraft. You got to do what you got to do to make your play happen.
Like, look, I
clone
criticize
Hamilton, and you actually use.
Yeah, like, look, I criticize the Facebook movie for, even though I like. David Fincher made that, right?
Yeah, you wanted Zuckerberg to play himself. That could have happened.
Well, no. No. I don't want Zuckerberg to play himself, but I'm saying they intentionally rewrote parts of his life while he's alive in order to make the narrative of the movie work.
More interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I agree. Okay. What is they supposed to do for this play? Are they supposed to dig up the corpse of Alexander Hamilton, invent cloning technology to recreate Alexander Hamilton, and then have him like stand on stage and recite his journals from like hundreds of years ago? Like, what the fuck? What does he think they should do?
Yeah.
It's a musical. Does he not understand that in real life, people don't just randomly break into song at key important parts of their music, of their lives, in order to sing what's happening?
Yeah, it's art.
It makes the story really have an impact, but it really ends up having more to say about the value of biographies than actual pages in history. One of my favorite examples of Lin-Manuel inventing details is his depiction of the relationship between Hamilton and Angelica Schuyler, which is overtly depicted to be an unspoken affair of the minds, a love between eyes which is split up merely by happenstance. When looking into it, however, the actual evidence of this is so hilariously flimsy that it becomes immediately clear that Miranda has essentially chosen to canonize a personal ship that he believes in between two historical figures entirely because he thinks it's cute. And also because, as the so-called Hamilton expert, absolutely no one is going to call him out on it.
I mean, I'm curious what he thinks of like Quentin Tarantino rewriting history as well.
Well,
I mean, that's
wait
like a
minute.
regular trope.
Here's the thing. That is the first valid criticism that Quentin has made. It's taken us 12 minutes in the video, okay, for him to finally make a valid criticism and say, well, okay, besides me vaguely crying about the fact that the founding fathers were all horrible racists without me, and denying Hamilton's views on slavery completely by being wrong about Hamilton's views on slavery, and not providing any evidence for my claims. Finally, he has a critique where you say, okay, well, there's no historical evidence. I'm assuming this is true. We could look this up and find out that fucking Quentin's wrong about this. But assuming this is true, okay, it is a valid critique to say, okay, they created this fantasy relationship that didn't really exist, and it doesn't really serve the story in any way. Amazing, Quentin. It took us 12 fucking minutes to get there. Okay,
So
and
you're on
that
board with
criticism
that?
has nothing to do with his main point in the whole video about the founding fathers being too idealized in modern times.
But you're cool with the inaccuracy, the historical inaccuracy? Or you're not cool with the historical
Well, I don't know
inaccuracy?
I mean, first of all, it's not how is it important to the story in either way?
Yeah, just to make it cute.
Like okay, let's go to the Facebook movie. Okay, so the problem with the Facebook movie is that in the Facebook movie, Mark Zuckerberg's girlfriend leaves him in the beginning, and they kind of have that, like, his motivation for starting Facebook and doing all the things is because he wants to get his girlfriend back, right? But in real life, it turns out they were together throughout the whole process, and that's totally not true. Okay,
Right.
So
didn't they get married?
Yeah, they
It's
got
the same
married.
girl.
So yeah, so the idea of like that's the character's entire motivation. Faking the entire historical person's motivation for an action, that's a big fucking deal. Okay.
If it's good for Zuckerberg, it's good for you, man. I'm telling you.
But in Hamilton, if it turns out that like he has this sort of cutesy relationships with his sister-in-law where they're like intellectually attracted to each other and they have like witty backs and forths or whatever, and that turns out not to be true. It's like, okay, but that doesn't have anything to do with the story. Like, that wasn't a major plot point. Like, if he cheated on his wife with his sister-in-law, then you say, oh, that's a major plot point, but that doesn't happen.
Right.
So who cares? I mean, it's a valid criticism, but who cares at the end of the day? It has nothing to do with Quentin's overall point about the dangers of whitewashing, wink, wink, the founding fathers.
Right. Yeah.
Another intriguing moment representing this can be found at the start of Say No to This, which depicts Hamilton cheating on his wife, which the play chooses to present as the worst sin of his life because it's written for Tumblr fandoms. Throughout the start of the song,
Okay. This is so stupid. So the reason the play portrays him cheating on his wife as the worst sin of his life, as opposed to, not being stronger against slavery or whatever, Quentin, is because from Hamilton's perspective, that was what destroyed so much of his relationship with his wife. That's what led to so many problems in his life down the road. Like, does he not understand that? Does he not understand how character motivations work for real people, let alone stories?
Hamilton tries.
I thought Tumblr fandoms were all poly anyway, so who cares if he cheated?
Very hard to present himself as the victim of the story. Oh, I was so tired, I'd been up for days, yada yada yada. And as much as it comes across as the character trying to justify what he did, it also comes across as Lin-Manuel and other historians doing the same thing.
Okay, Quentin he came into this so biased that he totally misinterpreted the scene. Obviously. When I saw the play, And there's the song about Alexander Hamilton, you know, making the excuses about why he cheated on his wife with this random woman. It came off to me that you, the audience members, are supposed to interpret it like, oh, he's making excuses for this. You're not supposed to agree with him. Like, it's very obvious to me what the intention was in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like a guy telling you, like, oh, here's my sad story about why I did something wrong. You're not supposed to be like, oh, that poor Alexander Hamilton. He was totally in the right there. He got seduced by some streetwalker.
Mm-hmm.
But Quinton came into this so biased that he couldn't perceive the scene for what it was.
This pleading among schoolhouse dorks for us to always look at these men as the sympathetic protagonists of every story is embedded not only in our media, but in our textbooks. It's the same type of motivation.
This is also bullshit too, because the beginning of this video, he talks about 1776, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you haven't seen, Adam. Okay. And he said it humanized the founding fathers by showing them bickering and complaining about the heat and being, you know, politicians and not being idealists. But then he criticizes it for saying, oh, well, you know, they're trying to portray all the founding fathers as these perfect sympathetic characters, when 1776 literally does the opposite.
Right.
Like Hamilton, you can make the argument that Hamilton makes the characters more sympathetic a lot more than 1776 fucking did.
Right. Yeah.
But this is the problem with the deconstruction shit. When you go into something looking to tear it down.
What is his argument?
Win.
What's his argument? That we shouldn't idealize historical figures, and Hamilton is guilty of this in spades?
I think his argument is that if you're going to do anything about historical figures, you have to instantly throw in the race angle and the slavery angle. Even if it's not relevant to whatever even if it's not relevant to whatever the point of the story is necessarily. Because he doesn't want people drawing Tumblr fan fiction of Alexander Hamilton as non-binary gender fluid and pretending like he didn't own slaves. That's what really grinds Quinton's gears here.
What do you think the video intention is? Just like a lot of people hate the founding fathers, and there's this play out there that makes them look cool, and we should make fun of that play because they shouldn't look cool.
The intention of this video was, Quinton said, what's something popular that will get me lots of clicks?
Hamilton.
Hamilton's very popular. How can I criticize Hamilton for not being woke enough so I can virtue signal to all the fucking YouTubers I want to suck up to?
That's super cynical.
Well, Adam.
I'm gonna look up Hamilton on Google Trends.
That leads our teachers to try and argue that many of the founding fathers were rather nice to their slaves, or that Thomas Jefferson had an affair with a 14-year-old that he legally owned, or that the Three-Fifths Compromise was an example of the founders of our nation coming together to make a swift decision, and not them unanimously agreeing that a slave was less than a man.
Okay, so this is very... Okay. First of all, I've never heard anyone ever describe the Three-Fifths Compromise as the founding fathers valiantly coming together to make a swift decision. I've never heard that ever described in my life. That's total fabrication. Secondly, he can't even get the history right. The Three-Fifths Compromise wasn't the founding fathers saying, we understand that slaves are less than people. That wasn't what it was about.
No.
The Three-Fifths Compromise was about figuring out the populations of states in terms of how they should be represented in the House of Representatives.
Yeah,
okay, based on the population.
Democratic power is what it was about.
It was about, exactly. And so the states that didn't have a lot of slaves said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Slaves can't vote. Okay. They're not recognized as having the same legal rights as citizens. Why should they have why should your state gain power of representation based on the number of people you can buy?
Yeah.
That was the argument. It had nothing to do with saying that slaves were worth less than a normal person whatsoever. It was all about political power.
Yep. Exactly.
In the end, Hamilton is a really weird thing for me. I think it's been out long enough that I find it easier to just make fun of rather than openly enjoy unironically. And yet, at the same
First good point he's made right there.
There you go.
This thing should just be made fun of, guys. We should only make fun of this play for being a musical, not like you know, all the good stuff, you know, bringing people together. That's all great. Musical sucks.
same time, I really do understand how smart it is in its presentation. There is so much clever stuff in the implementation of the narrative, how hip-hop is attached to the revolution by default, and all of the characters who stand against it speak in a different style. When Jefferson first comes back from France, it's played as if he's missed the whole revolution, so when he starts singing, it sounds like a song from a Schoolhouse Rock episode, because you're supposed to think that he's sort of missed all of the cultural development of the past 5 years. The story works at its core because it's about...
See, this is the issue. It's what you've always talked about. He's mad that it's effective. The
Yeah,
musical is
totally.
effective and persuasive. That means it's a form of manipulation.
Boo hoo hoo.
I just think it's so funny that you'd make a 16-minute video about a musical that everyone likes, where your criticism is just, boo-hoo, it didn't focus enough on the founding fathers owning slaves. Like, if they had a 10-minute dance sequence where all the slaves were depicted as white people for some reason,
Yeah,
and
and they
Hamilton
beat
is
'em.
there, yeah, and all the slaves are white people, and they're all dancing around talking about how terrible it is to be a slave, and Hamilton gives a 10-minute musical number where he talks about how, even though he's against slavery, you know, the circumstances of the time have made it so that when he marries this girl that he loves, she owns slaves, and therefore he owns slaves, and it's very complicated. Would Quentin suddenly say this is like the best musical ever?
He would be forced to. Otherwise,
No, you
he
know
would
what
have
he
to
would
go
say?
back. No, he's
No, no, no.
he'd find
He
someone.
would no. He would say it was just like what he said with the Hamilton cheating on his wife. He'd say, "Oh, the play is trying to make excuses for Hamilton being involved in the slave trade, like every rich person in existence was at that time period in that location of the world."
It's almost like you can't
Quentin.
win.
I know, it's almost like you can't win. It's like, it's what you said with the clerk.
I know.
You know, a white guy and a
exactly.
black person comes into the store. You know, it doesn't matter who you help first. You're racist either way.
about two people whose lives keep intersecting at important beats until it all ends in disaster. How the different parts of those stories mimic one another through rhymes and reprisals, and how it all comes together in the final act makes it really stand out, and you can easily understand how audiences get hooked on the emotions presented. My pal Scott at NerdSync is working on his own Hamilton video, which is mostly about analyzing the content of the musical outside of if it's accurate or not, and I really suggest checking that out whenever it's done. As per usual with topics like these, understanding the nuances of the story doesn't mean never enjoying the piece of media again.
It's literally, first of all, Quentin has no nuances in anything he talks about, okay? He's provided zero nuance in his interpretation of Alexander Hamilton or any of the founding fathers at all.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, that is exactly what he's saying. He's talking about, oh, I just want to make fun of this play. Even though I think it's good and it's so appealing, I just got to make fun of it because I don't agree with what I deem as the historical inaccuracies.
Do you think if the changes we talked about confronting the issue of slavery, do you think if those changes were in there, that it would be as effective as a play? I don't know that it would be.
It wouldn't be, because it would feel shoehorned in.
Totally.
Everyone would say it was a scene that was shoehorned in. Because if you've watched Hamilton, as he just said, it's about the various intersects in between Hamilton and Burr in their life. And it's about sort of Hamilton kind of going up and rising up into power.
Right.
And you watch the play, there's not like a scene missing where you go, oh, like there should be this scene in this play, and then you find out the reason there isn't is because that scene had to do with slaves. It would feel completely shoehorned in if they added that scene in just to appease, the Quinton Reviews of the world, even though it wouldn't appease them, and they would just criticize it.
Exactly. Yeah, they would still be just as unhappy, and the play would be 10 times less effective. So,
I mean, he would only have a point if this was like a play about like Thomas Jefferson's life. Like, obviously, a play about Thomas Jefferson's life has to involve, Sally Hemings, right? And his relationship with her and the strangeness of being in a relationship with a person that you technically own and is underage. That would have to be part of the story because that's a key part of Thomas Jefferson's life. That's not here in Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah. Wow.
As a wise woman once stated, it is both possible and even necessary to simultaneously enjoy media while also being critical of its more problematic or pernicious aspects.
Who was that special person, I wonder?
They say pernicious or pernicious aspects.
I think pernicious.
Is pernicious a word? No, is pernicious?
Pernicious.
I thought it was pernicious.
Who's the quote from?
Yes.
Do you know?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. Okay, I'm gonna guess it's a Lindsay Ellis quote.
Oh, really? I was gonna guess Anita Sarkeesian, but
it feels like a Lindsay Ellis quote. Maybe it could be Anita. Could be.
He's going for both of them.
But here's the problem. He hasn't. He does this bullshit at the end to try to appeal because he knows a lot of his woke crowd likes the musical, right? So he has to give them an out.
He's walking the line.
Yeah, he has to walk the line. He has to give them the out where he says, look, guys, I understand that you guys are woke. I understand that you like Alexander Hamilton, and that's okay as long as you acknowledge the pernicious parts of the story, okay? But it's bullshit because it's bullshit because he hasn't talked about liking any part of this play. He just says it's well made and manipulative, but he hasn't said he likes it.
Yeah.
And you could do an honest critique of Hamilton where he says, "Oh, I like all these aspects of the story and the play, but I wish they would have covered X." Well, he didn't do that. He did the exact opposite and said, "This is all horrible whitewashing of the founding fathers that's supposed to trick you into thinking it's a controversial take," which is total bullshit.
I want slavery all the way through.
And in cases like Hamilton,
there should be a guy in chains on stage every moment of the play narrating what's happening from the perspective of a slave.
Naked and dirty. Buck naked and dirty. And smelly too. I want the smell of him to be all in that theater.
Oh my God.
And we'll call it a comedy. Just to get extra virtue signal points.
It continues to be essential.
Here's the interesting thing. Okay. If they had slaves in Hamilton, would they be white or black?
I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Either way,
you can't put slaves in this thing. It just you don't know what color they have to be.
Yeah, because either way, you would be accused of being racist.
Totally.
Because if they're white, you'd say, "Oh, but the slaves weren't white. You're trying to do like this weird reverse racism thing."
Yeah. Right.
You're literally whitewashing the slaves. But then if they were black, they would say, "Oh, well, that's still racist because it's like you have the founding fathers as black and there's blacks are subjugating other black people." But that's not the way it was.
Yeah. You can't win.
Can't win.
You got to keep slavery out of this thing.
That was probably the real reason he did keep slavery
out
of the thing.
He's like, "God damn, I want to touch on the slavery topic so bad. But everyone says I'm touching the third rail here."
Yep.
For us to understand the perspectives of everyone.
And ironically, it's people like Quinton and the woke crowd that make it impossible to discuss.
To do anything, yeah.
Yeah, impossible to discuss these complicated figures in history or in fiction or real life or anything because everything has to be a black and white, evil, good narrative for them.
Yeah.
One involved in telling the story, and to understand where liberties have been taken for better or for worse. And this is something that's not only true with fiction, not only true with adaptations, but just all of written history. We need to learn to question these voices and to normalize identifying key bias when it's clearly at hand.
It's a long-ass quote.
The white people. I think he's done with the quota. I think.
He didn't even tell us who it was? What the fuck?
Maybe he didn't tell us who it was.
If there was any ultimate finite thesis statement that I want you to walk away with this with, I guess it would probably be, the SpongeBob musical is better than Hamilton in every conceivable way. Quinton, out! I'm not.
Ha
That was
ha
evil.
ha ha ha.
How can you say that? How can you be like a some figure, some woman figure once said and not tell who it was who said it? Like, come on.
Oh, what a sexist Quentin is. He
I
quotes a
know
woman,
exactly. He
doesn't give her any credit for it.
appropriates
Oh
her
my
words.
God.
Was it Anita?
Terrible.
Was it Lindsay Ellis? We'll never know because Quentin
We'll
just
never know.
didn't even credit him.
We'll never know.
How's his
Terrible.
video descriptions?
His video. Let's see.
Is it possibly in there? Lindsay Ellis.
Let's find out. Quentin Hamilton bullshit. That's what I'm gonna type in Google. Oh, here it is. It came up with bullshit. It said Quentin Hamilton wasn't enough. It needed the bullshit.
The wishful.
No, doesn't say who
that quote was from. Damn it.
Here's the funny thing. It doesn't say who the quote is from, but you know what the top link on his description is?
What?
It is a t-shirt that you can buy, apparently.
Oh, nice. Does that have the quote on
it? That says aliens didn't like white people.
What? He's selling a t-shirt that says aliens didn't like white people?
That's what he's selling.
For real?
It's not only a t-shirt, you can get a face mask.
That's crazy.
Aliens didn't like white people.
That's crazy.
I'm not sure what the context of this is, but okay.
Really? I gotta look that up. We gotta check this t-shirt out.
Oh, I think the context was he did this video where he was woke again. Quentin's woke virtue signaling. It's just so we should do this. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we could do that video because I would say the same thing. It'd be me saying the same thing every 10 seconds, which is that he did this video where he was complaining about ancient history shows where they talk about like, you know, the meme where the guy's like, who constructed the pyramids? Aliens. And Quentin is saying, oh, of course the white people think all these ancient structures not built by white people were created by aliens because white people can't conceive of non-white people actually building impressive architecture. That's what Quentin literally believes. Instead of someone just saying, wait a minute, Quentin, let's think about this for 1 second. Let's use our brain. Let's use our brain and think about this, okay? Maybe it has nothing to do with the race of the people whatsoever. Maybe it has to do with the fact that these structures that people attribute to being aliens is because they're impressed that these ancient societies were able to construct these massive monolithic structures that seem to go beyond the scope of their technological abilities at the time. And those people didn't leave lots of notes about how they fucking did it. So obviously conspiracy theorists are going to point to that and say aliens. And the reason that doesn't happen with white people is because there aren't a lot of super impressive white people structures that existed throughout ancient times that are comparable to like the pyramids or, you know, the Gwyntepi, whatever it's called. The guy on Joe Rogan always calls Gwyntepi Pepe or whatever. But no, it's because of racism.
Are you saying that white people have not made any impressive structures? What about the Eiffel Tower?
No, ancient structures.
Oh, were there even white people in ancient times? I don't even know.
There weren't. They were all black. We listened to Nick Cannon. They were all black back then.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, white people lived in caves and they stole society from black people.
I know. That's why we came out of the cave and we were like, let's get us some society.
Though I've heard people, the one white people structure that does get attributed to aliens sometimes is Stonehenge.
Oh yeah,
so
Stonehenge. It's so weird that they base so much on skin color when pigmentation is only a response to what latitude you live on.
Right.
They lived up in the cloudy Stonehenge area. They're like, we don't need pigment.
This is the problem with this sort of woke criticism, because as I talked about, Your brain is literally a pattern recognition machine. If you decide to go into it, this is why the woke grievance studies are so against the scientific method. Okay. The entire point of the scientific method is that you're supposed to try. It's obviously not possible to remove all biases, but you're supposed to try to remove as many biases or as much bias as you can when you look at something, when you try to figure something out. Okay. That's why they're so against that, because they want to go into this with already an answer saying, because of racism.
Mm-hmm.
So
Racism is the answer for everything.
Right. Racism is the answer for everything. That's literally what the critical race theory already believes. That's how it's set out in the beginning. Racism is the answer for everything. So Quinton, who believes apparently critical race theory or this other bullshit, looks at American Aliens History show, which is everyone else looks at as a silly, ridiculous show on the History Channel about how aliens constructed all things like the NASCAR lines. And Quinton says, it must be because of racism. And he's going to totally not even try to figure out the real reason for anything. The real objective truth, Adam.
Yeah,
reason
we're all
for
about
why
that.
It might be that way.
We're all about finding out the objective truth. That's why I invited Paul on, to find out the objective truth. We want to know what's real. What's real.
Right. And what did we find out? We found out that I was right.
Well, I think we did find that out. And I'm glad we found it out. I'm glad we know the truth.
There we go. We finally know the truth, that I'm right and you're wrong.
Somebody's going to give me that argument, though, in the proper way. I don't think Paul summed the argument up perfectly. Somebody's going to give me an argument that's going to seem more plausible. And I'm going to remember that argument this time. This time I'm going to hand it over to you so we can examine it more closely. But
of course.
Why do people make that argument? Like, what is the problem with thinking that people did believe literally in crazy shit? I mean, people literally believe in crazy shit now. What's the problem with that? Why do people like to argue against that?
Because they don't want to make... Yes, I said the NASCAR lines, okay? I don't know how to say... I don't know what the actual word is, first of all, chat. Stop making fun of me. It's the NASCAR lines. We all know that those lines in the desert of South America were all drawn by NASCAR drivers, okay?
The NASCAR lines.
Yes. The NASCAR lines? I don't know.
The NASCAR lines. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how you say the word. Anyway, the answer, Adam, to your question is because they don't like the argument that you thought, or that I guess I sort of was making, which is that religion is a failed science.
Well, I don't like that either, because...
Well, I agree that if you limit religion as a failed science, it's a stupid argument. It's much broader than that. It's much more than that. But I do think that's an aspect.
Why are you arguing with me then?
Well, I wasn't arguing about that. You're the one that was arguing with me, saying that no one believes that they're literally true, okay?
God, I love to argue.
I know you do. The Nazca lines. Okay, it's the Nazca lines. I was adding some extra syllables in there. So.
Out in the desert?
Yes. Do you know what the Nazca lines are?
I'm looking at them now. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty impressive. You say, how did they do those, Adam? How did they do those so long ago without an aerial view?
They guessed.
No, Adam. Aliens told them where to put the lines. Come on. Stay up.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Stay up.
It
makes sense.
Here looks like a little chick. This one looks like a little chickadee chick. Oh, someone sent us a fan art too. It's not great.
Put it up.
It's not great. It's of you.
Uh-oh.
So.
What does that mean? What do you mean it's not great?
Well, I mean, it's of you. I'm not in it, so.
Oh.
Oi, Gov, it's me, PSA British. Fancy a warm glass of woven love. Of Walter Love.
So I'm gonna have to wait 20 seconds before I can see it, because I can see it right now. Oh God, someone drew a terrible picture.
Oh, now you're making fun of it. Oi, Gov.
I don't know.
It's me, PSA British.
I don't know how I feel about this picture. I just sent it to you on Twitter.
Oh no, that one's not going up.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna get us like get your channel canned.
It's me, PS. Oh, who made that picture? I like that picture.
It was Zombie Squab.
Thank you, Zombie. I appreciate it. Even though you dare have me not be the rightful American that I am, I'd still like the picture. You don't want to put the picture up that I linked you?
Dussy? No, we can't put that up.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Noble Savage.
Describe it. Describe it though for the audience.
Oh my God.
Describe what's going on between the legs there.
Oh my God. So Noble Savage.
Oh my God.
Says, hey, you guys, Adam and Sitch. I call back to the Dussy saga with Sitch in a full boy Dussy mode. So he made a Sitch that looks like a gay furry dog with a Sitch face and has like a collar on, looking pretty sexy. And you see the bulge between his legs, pretty bulgy.
I don't think that's a bulge. I think that's the sack coming out from the shorts.
That's the sack, yeah. That's the Dussy, I guess. That's the sack. And then it says Adam's response, and it's a picture of Sitch as a dog looking sad and whining with Adam like taking his belt off or something.
Oh my God.
So
I didn't see the response.
There you go, guys. Yeah. I wanted Adam to show this. Look, Noble Savage, I don't have the power here. Okay. Adam controls what you guys see. I said you should put it on stream.
We'll show the response. The response is kind of G-rated, so I hope it is. Here's the aftermath, though.
God. It's terrible. It's terrible and wonderful.
Oh my God, our fans are sick.
You love it.
I do, actually.
Anyways.
It's very strange. I love strange things. Strange is my jam.
So since I'm on Twitter now, this is funny. I was telling you about how Quinton was complaining about the people taking the picture with the Kekistani flag. And
what did you just say? The F word? Oh my God!
Accident.
Take the stream down.
So Quinton said, "Sometimes I think about how close I came to being in this photo. Like I was hanging out with a bunch of these people that day, and I can assure you, I was stupid enough in 2016 to join in if anyone asked, do you want to pose with this Nazi flag? Anything to pwn the SJWs." And he's calling the Kek flag the Nazi flag.
Right.
So I responded by saying, do you have a rule where every few weeks you have to randomly tweet out something stabbing the people you used to be friendly with in the back in order to virtue signal to the new group of friends you want?
And he responded, of course.
He responded, of course. So someone just, I don't know why, maybe they're listening to the stream. They saw Quinton, the Quinton fan got very mad. And they just responded right now. They said, you want to talk about being friendly? You're buddy with Carl Gon, a white nationalist, and Adam Friended, a self-described troll. LMAO.
I hate that. Oh man.
So
do you know what that comes from? You know what the self-described troll?
I do know what that comes from.
It
comes from Rat Rules.
Rat Rules, exactly. It comes from Rat Rules, who pulled a fucking tweet of me saying to Shannon Q, I think, some other YouTuber.
It was Shannon Q, yes.
That she was saying I'm doing a live stream, and I'm like, cool, can I come troll your chat? And that's how I became a self-described troll.
Right. Obvious joke, and he totally lied.
He totally fucking lied. Yeah, exactly. Rat Rules is a big fucking liar. And not only that, I tried to get Shannon Q to stand up for me in this lie, and she went along with it too. So she's a big fucking liar too.
Oh, she did? I thought she defended you.
No, she didn't defend me. Are you kidding me? Wow. No, she told me to get lost. She told me to take a hike. Man up. Man up. You can handle people lying about you on the internet. That's not a big deal. Wow. I know. What a fucking bitch. What a bitch. Yeah, exactly.
Shannon Q, for shame. I thought you guys were friendly.
They all love, Shannon Q. She's the nicest person imaginable. Yeah, right. She's a lying bitch. Just get over it. So, but there's the little lie spreading around the world there. But who cares? They're just internet losers. Whatever. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate, right?
These guys still use the term virtue signaling too in 2020.
I know.
Because people still virtue signal. I don't know what you want.
there was another term that I used that they said was like an out of fashion term. God, I don't think it was virtue signaling. I think it was another term. And then somebody used it like 5 minutes later, and I thought, oh my God.
Well, that's what they try to do. They try to control the language. It's like, you can't use this term that perfectly describes this behavior. That's so 2016. Oh my God, you're so lame. Oh.
What do we do that's virtue signaling? I think the term applies universally.
We put horrible fan art of ourselves as like women on sexy
Is
ladies.
That virtue signaling? I don't know.
It's virtue signaling to our fans. Yes.
What shows that we are virtuous? I guess.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. I guess they're supposed to point that out, but they don't want to point it out because they can't use the term that we use because
that's true.
Bad terms.
Anyway, let's get into the super chats, Adam.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I looked up that shirt that he's selling, and it's just so lame. I didn't even want to bring it up.
It's very lame. Sadly. And no one would even understand the reference either.
Because it's from some of the video. I wonder if he's
some
tearing
video.
Through them.
I doubt it. Basitat, I never know how to say this guy's name right. For $5 says, Bloody Andrew Jackson is a phenomenal musical. You would love it, Adam. Look up the song Populism, Yeah, Yeah. Also check out Next to Normal.
I'll check it out. I mean, the Hamilton songs I've heard in the car many times, and they always trigger me.
Oh my God.
They always trigger me.
It has some good songs in it. I like some of the songs in Hamilton.
I don't know what the way they sing. It's like a lot of background singers just drive me nuts.
Wow, it's so weird. What a weird one. Adam, don't you want to be in the room where it happens?
The heart wants what it wants.
Aren't you never satisfied?
Heart runs from what it runs from.
Don't you want to just have your one shot?
What I feel like you're.
I'm going through all the songs from Alexander Hamilton.
Okay. Oh man.
Hobo Frodo for $5 says liking musicals is a trait that would have been removed via natural selection had the intelligent among us not been so caring towards the mentally inept.
I love you. I love you.
That's not true. Look at how much the majority of people like musicals. Look how much money they make. The Disney movies.
No. Citation needed.
Yes.
Citation needed.
Yes.
That's like the something a coastal elite would say.
Didn't like all Indian films used to have to be like musicals or have musical dance numbers in them?
Do people really like musicals?
And there's like a fuck ton of people in India, so I think I win automatically.
Oh man!
Justin K for 5 Canadian says, "The hills are alive with the sound of Adam being wrong." Oh, beautiful.
I typed in, "Do people really like musicals?" and the first thing that came up, genuinely curious why some people don't like musicals. I can't fucking win today. Oh my God.
Adam, you say you don't like musicals, but you're a self-professed troll, so maybe you're not.
Oh my God! Coming after me. Opinion time. It might not be that bad. Opinion time. Why I hate musicals with a passion. Oh man.
Boom.
I'm gonna have to do some research here. You don't know how many people like musicals.
I would imagine.
Oh, I hate musicals. Help. Why do you like musicals so much, people? Oh my God, my people. I found them. Yeah, okay.
Justin K for 5 Canadian said, oh no, I heard that one. Joseph Kerwin for $5 says, I want to see the Founding Fathers played by roof Koreans.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes. Roof Koreans is a reference to the Koreans in the 90s riots in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Yes.
They defended their store by getting up on the roof with rifles.
Right. Which is probably going to happen again.
Yeah, around November. When's the election? November 5th?
It's probably going to happen again because pretty sure. I mean, I know there's basically no chance that any of the cops will get murder. Chauvin might get manslaughter. None of the other cops will probably get manslaughter. He might get manslaughter unless they can show or prove that there's some weird protocol that he's supposed to follow that involves holding someone down like that if they think they're going to have a panic attack or heart attack, which I don't have any clue if they're supposed to do that. I would assume not, but
yeah.
But obviously there's still going to be riots because he's not going to get murdered and the other cops are going to get off. Orion, the above average for $5 says, missed your last stream, would have donated, but I also had my card info stolen, had no money, LOL. Also sent art on Twitter, Adam. Winky face. Well, I'm sorry to hear that your card was stolen. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, if you get your card stolen, you don't have to give us money. That's fine. That's an acceptable reason not to give us super chat money. But what was the art that he sent? Was he the one that sent you the British sitch?
Maybe so. Who was it? What's a super chat?
Orion, the above average.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Orion. DM me some.
Send it to me, Orion. Adam can't be trusted.
What?
Adam can't be trusted. You have to send it
I'm
to
a
me.
self-described troll. Of course I can't be trusted.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? Trust.
You said Zombie Squad did the British sitch, right?
I did, yeah.
Yes.
I use your little trick. I save it with the name.
I save all fan art starting with the person who drew its name, so I always remember. Potato of Awesome for 20 New Zealand dollars, or if you're Quinton and you're looking at everything through the lens of racism, you would assume Nazi dollars, says.
Oh my God.
Zombie Squad said it wasn't him.
Oh, maybe it was. It seemed like it's not. Maybe he was responding.
God. Adam.
Would I do something bad?
Adam. Potato of Awesome for 20 Nazi dollars says, the reason why P plus P equals R is such a toxic idea is because it ironically justifies bigoted ideas. It's not uncommon for genuine racists to justify their prejudice by exaggerating just how much power one race has over them. True. How very true. Classically true. What is this picture you just posted?
I don't know. I just saw it on Twitter. It's Malika Peterson and Jordan Peterson. Someone was making fun of them for doing the all meat diet still.
Oh.
And it made me hungry, so I shared it with you.
Adam is a simple man. I'm like, why did you post this picture? He's like, well, I'm hungry.
It made me hungry. Those are some tomahawk steaks there. Look at that.
There you go.
Jordan doesn't look happy.
Gemini Samimi for $2 says, Sitch pronounced my name right.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I was calling Gemini. I was like,
I think it's
Samimi.
Gemini Samimi, but I say Gemini Semini for the rhyme.
For the alliteration.
Yes. For the alliteration. Well, no, the rhyme. It's not alliteration.
Isn't rhyming alliteration?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Adam, you know, when we were writing the script for the comic, Adam's like chastising me. He's giving me all sort of
doing a lot of
writing advice. He's like, Sitch, how can you be so stupid? This is not how you write things. He doesn't even know what alliteration means. Okay. Alliteration is when you have like two words or multiple words that all start with the same letter.
Oh, an occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of an adjacent or closely connected word. It is alliteration. Right.
Yes. Gemini Semini is not alliteration. No, the beginning of the word. Gemini, gem and sem. Okay, that's not the same.
The occurrence of the same letter or sound. So let's get the letter out of there to confuse you. The occurrence of the same sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected word. Got that?
Okay. In literature, alliteration is the conspicuous repetition of identical initial consonant sounds in successive or closely associated syllables within a group of words. Okay, identical initial consonant sounds.
Okay, so it's got to be initial consonant sounds?
Yes, so Gemini Semini, is a rhyme. Okay.
Right.
It's not an alliteration.
Okay.
You fuck.
You don't even know where commas go.
I will put as many commas as I like, as many
The
sentences
problem
that I
is
like.
not enough commas.
Okay. Dan Collective One for $9.99 says, I take it back. The lady doth protest too much. I bet Adam fantasizes about being Miss Adelaide being wrapped up in Marlon Brando's arms while dancing the samba in Guys and Dolls.
True. I always wanted to be in a musical and I couldn't get in one because I didn't sing good enough. You found me out.
Yes, exactly.
Damn it.
Anyway, moving on. The Wooster for $2 says, if I was JoJo, my stand would be Jesse Lee Peterson.
Nice.
Okay. Dice 2K for $5 says, Adam, here's $5. Could you please listen to 2 songs from Hamilton? Room Where It Happens and Not Throwing Away My Shot. Oh, we would do it on stream, but we get copyrighted. But after stream, Adam, you got to listen to Room Where It Happened and Not Throwing Away My Shot.
Where It Happened.
Yes. Those are good songs.
Oh my God, it's a Hamilton song.
Of course it is a Hamilton song.
This is torture. What was the other one?
But Not Throwing Away My Shot.
Oh. I have heard this one. In the
throwing
car.
Away my shot.
Yeah, that's the one that gets me super triggered. That's the one that makes me
get you
pull over the
triggered?
car and take the CD out and throw it out the window.
Why? You should bring your wife on stream. We need to
I
talk
don't
to her. We
know.
need to get the bottom of this.
No. She
Yes.
knows.
Well, Dice, I'll make sure he listens to it, okay?
I got him
Larson
pulled
the
up.
Wolf
I'm ready.
Okay. Larson the Wolf for $4.99 says, musicals are often like listening to an entire album that has 2 songs you like. Even if the story is good, doesn't mean the musical part is.
True. Oh my God. Some people are taking up the cause. I love it.
Yeah, that's fair. If there's most musicals are not going to be like all good. That's true.
Yeah.
Orion the Above Average for $5 says, an irony about Quentin's wokeness is he paints U.S. history as black and white. He hasn't brought up George Washington's name of town destroyer among the Iroquois. # native erasure. That's so true. Quentin, look at how bigoted white guilt boy Quentin is.
I know.
He's so focused on just this one tiny aspect of racism and bigotry by our founding fathers, the slavery aspect. But he fails to mention the genocide and the land theft of the Native Americans, of the Indians.
Probably because they're not here anymore.
Quentin. You know why? It's because no one cares about virtue signaling to the Indians or the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
There's argument about which term they like better. No one cares about that, but they want to.
I thought Indians was racist,
to the black population.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible, Quentin. Terrible. Thank you, Orion, for bringing that up. Orion Above Average for no $2 says, just make all the stagehands wear slave outfits.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
You could import slave labor. Why not? Go all the way. How dare you?
I actually sort of like that idea. It's so dark and crazy. Isn't it? Like, if dark. All the stagehands were just like slaves.
You got to make all these white people feel guilty while they're sitting in the seats.
Oh my God. I kind of like that because it's like sort of subtle and dark. I kind of like that. It's actually a good idea.
They'd probably ignore it.
They would never do that. Captain Smith for £5 says, did you guys see Quentin's big Garfield plush? He's trying to be like Jenny. Maybe he thinks if he emulates Jenny Nicholson enough, like she'll get with him. Maybe that's it.
That's sad.
I know, it's very sad.
Why doesn't he just get a girlfriend?
Why isn't he just like exercise?
Does he have a girlfriend?
Like a fucking train wreck. I doubt it.
I mean,
I doubt it.
I don't know.
95 Keat for $5 says, when are we getting more Movie Bob episodes or a rousing game of Movie Bob or Evil German Mustache Man? Yeah, we should do
I'm
that.
game. Let's do it.
Do it.
I want to do something about something that I really like a lot. I know Sitch loves Hamilton now. This might be the first, rocky road in our relationship here.
I like this. The face when no Adam and Sitch musical. Sitch, Adam, and musical when? Yeah, when are we gonna do the musical?
Oh my God. Can you imagine such a thing?
We should do a Sitch and Adam musical. That should be part of the comic campaign. Is that there's a tier
Oh my God.
where you can get a song. You can get Sitch and Adam singing a song about Supervillains Anonymous.
Oh my
I like
God.
this.
Oh my God.
A song about us fighting Robot Hitler. Oh, this is perfect.
Why is it always so? Why are all the tiers always some painful thing that you have to do? Like you have to do 10 shots, or you have to wear like some stupid mustache, or it's all about
it's only
torturing
painful
us.
for you, Adam.
I
It's
know
only
everyone
painful
else
for you.
loves it.
Everyone else loves it, including me. I would love to do a song. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, and we could get
It's not
Nuance Bro
really
and Sargon.
fair.
They could be like, they could have like a rap part in the song. How about that?
It's not really fair, but
That would be beautiful.
anything you love and I hate is not fair.
Yes. Anyways, we're gonna do that, guys. There's gonna be a tier for the comic book about a song that we'll sing, and we'll have Nuance Bro and Sargon do like a rap in the middle of the song.
We should
rap
get
chorus.
Enlightened Centrist is good with the
Verse.
music. We should do. We should
And he
have
could,
some.
yeah, there you go. He could do the music. Yeah, there you go. Daniel Collective 1 for 499 says, Redneck Sitch. All their here NASCAR lines and their Goblick Boopy Temple in Turkey and that angry what temple in Cambodia. Look, I'm not good with the names and the dates, okay? I know the concepts. That's all that matters. I know the concepts. I don't know the names and the dates, okay? I can't help my upbringing.
Oh, he must have an error. Lukov says Sitch and Adam Bromance, the musical. There is a bit of the, I mean, we kind of play up the bromance thing a bit in the comic, I think nicely. So you guys will be very satisfied with that. You'll be very satisfied with our relationship.
Yes. Alida held, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. Alida Hegel Lord. I'm just gonna say the Hegel Lord for 50 Nokia dollars says S-Class is best class. Hell yeah. Here's hoping you mispronounce my name awesomely again. Good night. You're welcome. Go. I always mispronounce your name. You are the Hell Lord or the Hegel Lord, whichever you prefer.
I have to read super chats on my own channel, and people are making fun of how badly I read now. It's awful. I no longer come off as the smart one. Everyone in Comicsgate thinks I'm the smart one too, which is a little sad.
Till you start reading, all of a sudden.
Yeah, totally.
Thunderson 4228 for $5 says the Revolutionary War between PSA Sitch and PSA British. Ah, there you go. There you go. The Opinionated One for $5 says, I love how Quinton's Kekistani photo tweet turned into a meme format. I can't speak. A meme format on both the left and right-wing Twitter. Legit, I don't know if many people like him. I don't think anyone likes him. I think people in the center and people in the right don't like Quinton because he totally, for no fucking reason, like backstabbed the people he was trying to be friendly with after sort of abusing their good graces. And the people on the left, I think it seems very apparent that he's trying to he's too thirsty. Like it's super obvious what's going on. Though I don't know, because I think in one of his latest videos, he had a bunch of bread tubers like say lines for his video. So some of them like him.
So he's making progress then.
Making progress.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who was in it or what the context was. I think Philosophy Tube was, or who's that fucking British guy that's so terrible? Oh my God, what's his name? He was like, was it him or Philosophy Tube that was complaining about like they couldn't pay people to subtitle their videos even though they were making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year?
What?
His
Ooh,
name's,
that's
I think his real name's Ollie. I don't remember what his, so like totally blanking on his name at the moment. Anyway,
there's some bad
no,
YouTubers out there. Some very
there
greedy
are.
YouTubers.
95 Keat for $5 says, all music is a sin. The only music one should hear is the sound of nature. And the only singing the sound of wailing flagellants whipping themselves. There you go.
That
There you
might
go.
be a bit far for me, but I don't.
Yes.
What is the purpose?
H Bomber Guy, thank you, the Love Doctor, and the rest of chat.
There
H
you
Bomber
go.
Guy.
What is the purpose of throwing people under the bus? I don't really understand that. I guess maybe when you go into the woke crowd, they demand some human sacrifice.
It's penance and human sacrifice to show. Okay, you know what it is. You know that scene in the mafia movie where they're like,
I
or the
do.
gang movie where they're like, you have to prove your loyalty to the gang, and the guy whips out a gun. And he's like, you have to shoot this guy in the face.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We saw it was literally the same thing with Hunter Avalon.
I
Hunter
know.
Avalon. It's so funny because Hunter Avalon is super right wing. I thought he said a lot of stupid shit in the past, very black and white, like no nuance, stupid takes. And then he's like, "Oh well, I'm gonna try to be like more the left or more centrist or whatever." I don't remember exactly what he said. I was like, "Oh, that's good. He's trying to be more like nuanced."
No.
And the first thing he does is go on these like on BreadTube SJW streams and throw everyone who he was friendly with under the bus and attack them and sacrifice them.
Yeah, roaming millennial got called a Nazi, I believe.
Right, roaming millennial, Sargon, et cetera, because yeah, they have to. It's like this is the show. You have to show the bodies to prove that you're really, you're really on this team now.
You know
It's
that
disgusting.
that roaming millennial thing is just because she interviewed Richard Spencer. That's why they keep nailing her.
I know they're like you weren't hard enough on Richard Spencer.
Yeah,
She's like mixed race. She's not even white. Like, like
I know. It
It's so
doesn't matter.
funny. I don't
It
know.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't listened to any of her streams recently, so unless she
They
suddenly
don't-
made some
yeah.
crazy turn to the white nationalism, I'm assuming that's all bullshit.
They don't. She doesn't come off as like this crazy right winger to me. So
Right. Yeah, she definitely did whenever I'd seen
like very vanilla conservative.
Mm-hmm. Stug for $2 says the streams should cover slavery more.
Oh yeah, we need to do our part, obviously.
I always feel bad. It's like when we were talking to Sargon and Nuance, and like, I mean, not Nuance, Dark Matter and Sargon, and like so much of it was about like the black community. I'm just like, no. It's like 4 white guys talking about the black community.
I know. What are you gonna do though? I mean, come on.
There's other places we can go with the conversation.
The black community.
I know. Richard Jammer for 125 PHPs says Quinton is the true centrist. Both sides hate him.
Yeah,
There you go.
pretty much.
There you go. The true centrist. Everyone hates him equally.
Well, just for like the turncoatness is, that's gotta. I mean, it's hard to recover from that. I don't know that Hunter Avalon. I mean, maybe he will. I guess he's getting a lot of action from the woke crowd. They get to brag about how they turned one.
Exactly. Astro Lime for $2.01 says Quinton complains about bias history when it's not his bias history. Boo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem is because it's funny because Shu's gone very far like social left Democrat, possibly boarding. And she says she's not going with the commie stuff yet. But it's funny because whenever she comments on something, even though she gets a lot of support from the left, she gets a lot of the, oh, Shu's like a grifter. She's fake. She used to be friends with Nazis, blah, 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 blah. And I bet that's all because she hasn't come out and said like, oh, the people I used to hang out with are all horrible Nazis.
Yeah.
Like that's what they want. They want you to throw someone under the bus.
So sad.
Disgusting. DJ Crunk Factory for $3 says Wicked takes the cake for most annoying musical ever. Also, Adam, do you like the Inquisition song from History of the World?
Haven't heard it. The Inquisition song.
You never seen History of the World, the Mel Brooks movie?
Not if it's a musical.
It's not a musical.
I don't think I've seen it. No.
Oh, okay. I never saw the musical Wicked. I read the book and I fucking despise it. It's one of my most hated books of all time.
Wicked.
So, Wicked, yes.
Yeah.
Sean Welch for $3 says, your boy Tim Pool ruined his own podcast. He kicked his much more likable co-host off the show because he was jealous, in my opinion, and he went from 50K likes and 60K live viewers to 19K likes and 20K live viewers.
Really?
Huh. Crazy. Interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to tell Sitch that sometimes these people do a show where they actually talk to the person off camera, and the person off camera is always the sidekick. It's like one of my major arguments that Sitch is the sidekick. Because I'm always talking to him and he's always off camera. So it's true.
Generally, it's a dumb argument. Let me tell you what's
it's a dumb argument. Come on.
Okay, when people talk to people off camera, it's generally like a producer. It's not like someone who's like on the show regularly, who's part of the show, because that person.
No, they are. They're on the show regularly. They're part of the show. Yeah.
Give me an example of this behavior.
You asked me for that last time, and I couldn't give you an example. Like
exactly. Bam.
Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter if I can't think of an example. It's still true. Here, look. I'll put my box above your box, and then here we go. Here we go. I'll figure.
Oh my God. Yeah. So it's funny because I never listened. I don't think I've seen a single episode of Tim's live stream whatsoever, so I'm not familiar with it or the guy who's his co-host. I did see that he kicked that his co-host and him were splitting waves, and I saw that his brother, who obviously Tim's brother is biased against him, heavily criticized Tim for doing that. So it's the interesting drama. I'm always want to know the interesting drama from other people, so feel free to tell us.
I watched, I think, maybe 3 Tim Pool videos this week. Like, I haven't watched Tim Pool in forever, but they were decent videos. I didn't have any complaints, so.
For shame, Adam.
I know. I listened to one Scott Adams too, and he did go off on artists again. I kept thinking, why can't he just make it clear? Because, I mean, I understand what he's saying. He's like, there's a bunch of irrational people on Twitter, and every time the irrational people attack me, I look at their bio, and it's an artist or a musician or a writer. That's his thing. But that's not the same thing as saying every writer, artist, or musician is irrational. Like, it's completely two different groups.
It's funny that he falls into someone who tries to talk about like mental traps so much.
Yeah, he falls into that one every time.
He falls into one of the most prevalent mental traps, which is that Twitter is not indicative of the population as a whole. No. Most people that are on Twitter are there to shill something.
They're activists, right? Yeah.
Well, no, not to be necessarily be activists. Most people are there to shill some product that they own, right? So like the only reason I joined Twitter was because I had a YouTube channel. And so it's like, obviously there's going to be a disproportionate amount of artists and musicians and writers and other people who need to shill their wares are going to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
And obviously because of Twitter and the environment of the current world, those people are most likely going to be on the left. So, so those people are going to criticize Scott Adams to a disproportionate amount. So it's very funny. Like if Scott Adams was only criticizing conservative fuck ups, right, and conservative ideas that were wrong or whatever, you think he's going to get a plethora of artists and writers who are making the same mental mistakes as he's criticizing?
No, he's going to get a bunch of engineers who are making a different mental mistake.
Exactly. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny. To be fair, I don't know how many engineers I see who, when I click on their name, it says engineer in their bio, just to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I know a few.
Well, and here's another issue why this is probably bullshit. Most people, again, most of the people that put their job description in their bio on Twitter, it's only if they're trying to shill their product.
Yeah.
Right? So you could have lots of engineers and economists and lawyers could be criticizing Scott Adams on Twitter, but if you click on their bio, it just doesn't say what their job title is, because why would it?
Yeah.
They're not trying to shill their services on Twitter. So
I know it is fashionable to not put anything about you in the Twitter bio.
right.
Just to put like,
Exactly.
I make
A
stupid
joke.
YouTube videos.
Yeah, exactly. Who would put such like that on their bio? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. Idiots.
CT for $1 says, I was trying to convince Sitch to draw a variant cover. I can't draw, CT. I know. That's the point, LOL. Yeah, CT wants me to draw a variant cover with my awful artistic abilities that I don't have. So maybe.
It would take us like 3 years.
That's true. No one for $20 said, no one for $20. Thank you very much, no one. The Cyclops. Or who was the guy that blinded the Cyclops? Well, it was from the Odyssey.
No
Who's
one.
the guy in the Odyssey, Adam? Was it
Ulysses?
Ulysses?
I don't know.
Well, I guess that makes sense. It's the Odyssey, so it would be
Ulysses S.
right?
Grant?
No.
From the Odyssey?
The Odyssey.
My mind is like stream of consciousness right now.
Odysseus. That's how you pronounce it. Odysseus. Not Ulysses.
Odysseus?
So it says Ulysses in
Is it
Roman
Odysseus?
mythology. It's Odysseus.
Odysseus?
Odysseus. Yes, there you go. The Greek hero Odysseus, known for his long journey back from the Battle of Dusseis. Yes, there you go.
How many Dussies did he slay?
How many Dussies did Odysseus slay? There you go. There you go. Adam went to sleep late last night, guys. Okay, it's not his fault.
I did. I was staying up late.
I saw you had like a YouTube video that came in at like, I don't know, like midnight or something.
I was going to take a nap today, but I didn't do it. So that's okay. I'm soldiering through.
No one for $20, also known as Odysseus, says, honestly curious, how long do you think the COVID stuff, mask, social distancing, etc., is going to last? Also, don't worry, Adam, I hate musicals too.
Sweet. I say I'm hopeful, but I don't know. It could be like 3 years maybe.
No, I think that's too long.
I know. Don't get your hopes up, man.
I think 1.5 years to 2 years. Depends how quickly they come out with a vaccine or a cure or whatever. I think we'll have a vaccine, a decent shot. I mean, Russia's already claiming they have a vaccine now. Who knows? I mean, if that's true, that'd be great. But I think we'll have a decent chance of vaccine by the end of the year.
If Tim Pool is right about the Civil War, I'm going to fucking...
Tim Pool is not right about the Civil War.
I wonder. You have Jonathan Haidt talking about how he's concerned that he thinks there's a good chance democracy will fail. Like, he's literally saying that.
He's wrong. He's worried about it. The problem is that you have all these people who are like in the midst of it. They're in the thicket of the woke shit.
Yeah.
And so, but that's not, you can't have a civil war if it's like 2% of the population versus 98% of the population. It's not a civil war. It's like, okay, here's why it won't be a civil war, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
There was a video of, I believe it was Portland or maybe Chicago. I think it was Portland, where a bunch of the Antifa assholes were all dressed up in their like fake riot gear with their knee pads, and they had like fake shields, their fake riot shields, and all this stuff. I don't know if you saw this video. It's on Twitter today. And they're all squaring up against the police in their real riot gear. And the police they shoot tear gas at them, and then they just rush headfirst into the Antifa people with their fake riot gear, and the police in their real riot gear just start smacking people with shields and batons. And you know what happened?
What?
The Antifa people all just fucking scrammed and fled in like 2 seconds. Yeah. Like their line just fell apart in a second, and they all just ran away.
They're not getting paid to beat people.
That's what I'm saying. Like this whole Civil War thing, this only exists because they don't want to have like this crazy crackdown. But as soon as the Antifa people go too far, okay, all it takes is for some Antifa people to start attacking houses, like a neighborhood. Like there was some clip of them talking about, You know, oh, the people in the neighborhood should give their houses up to black people or something crazy like that. All it takes is for them to start attacking neighborhoods. And I'm telling you, all bets are off. Police are going to start shooting people, and they're going to start beating the shit out of people, and everyone's going to applaud them and say, that's fine. Get rid of them. And they won't be able to defend Antifa anymore. And that's all it takes. That's why I'm saying I don't believe the civil. I mean, there's going to be a big problem. If there's a civil war problem-esque, okay, it's going to be around the voting situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about systemic breakdown.
It's going to be because of the COVID and because of whether they'll be able to count all the mail-in ballots. And that's going to be a total clusterfuck. So I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Yeah.
But I think that will be able to be solved legally without violence.
I hope, yeah.
The Love Doctor all day for 150 says you should go over Avalon's video on 5 myths about George Floyd. He claims that is a myth that Floyd was on drugs, and the dude doesn't know the difference between a murder requires intent and homicide, which is just killing someone. Low IQ.
Yeah. He's dangerous.
Yeah, maybe we'll check it out. Yeah.
He's dangerous.
I don't think he's dangerous. I think he's just stupid.
Well, I mean, if he's like putting misinformation into the world, why is that not dangerous?
I guess that's true. Hunter.
Super popular.
I don't want to give him the credit of being dangerous, right?
Yeah, I guess stupidity is really the biggest
danger.
Fuck?
He changed his icon. It's so weird now. Is this like... This feels like woke, like a woke icon. I don't know. It's very strange.
He knows branding. That's the branding. His whole thing.
Let's see. Where's this George? 5 lies about George Floyd. Okay, I'll check that out. He did this 6 days ago, and I think the toxicology report came out like months ago. So, yeah, that's not good. CT for $1 says Sitch said he would do a face reveal when he has a published book. Totally unrelated. When are we publishing the comic? I said book, literary book with words and no pictures, not a comic book. Okay, not a comic. Maybe that will be the final tier. Okay, if we get some absurd amount of money, it will be for a face reveal. That I don't know. That feels kind of like shitty, doesn't it?
I don't know.
It was a little too shitty.
I don't know.
Pay me to see my face. I don't know. It sounds a little too shitty.
People, how's it any different than doing the like at 1 million subs face reveal? Like people do that shit. How's it any different?
Because people don't have to pay you to subscribe to you. They just have to click a button.
Yeah.
Contrast for 144 says Sitch does Adam's accounting. Super chat reading token minority effigy so Jewish jokes can be made. Sounds like an off-camera sidekick to me. Sitch is Adam's Jamie. Sitch pull that up. I love it when a plan comes together. A-team rules. Fuck you, Sitch. Wow.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. Contrast is so angry right now.
Trigger warning. Jeez.
You know, he's just saying that because Contrast right now is what Scott Adams likes to call cognitive dissonance, okay? Contrast has to deal with the fact that Adam hates musicals and the Prince of Egypt in Disney movies, and Contrast can't wrap his little brain around it, okay?
I think Contrast said he hated musicals too, though. He was totally on my side with the musicals.
No, he said Disney movies are awesome. Prince of Egypt is fucking awesome. Wait a minute, I love musicals.
Oh, he did?
Okay. That's what he said.
Oh.
So Contrast is in this weird place where now, in order to like square the circle that he has to deal with, he's just kicking back too hard, you know? And it's okay, Contrast. Like Jesus, I'll accept you into my loving embrace of the S-Class, despite the harmful, negative things you've said. It's okay, Contrast. I still love
Contrast in the chat says, fuck off, lol.
It's okay.
Contrast, you have to say, though, Contrast. Is it me that you're telling to fuck off, or is it him? I can't tell.
It's okay, Contrast. It's okay. I understand.
Adam is wrong again.
Victor Von Koom, I like in the chat, says, Dussy reveal when. There you go. If we get enough money, we'll have a Dussy reveal.
Oh, my God. That's never happening.
Well, we'd have to get a dog first. So,
La
Adam, you could have
Patria.
a cussy reveal for your cat.
La Patria. Well, hold on. My cat's male for one thing,
Oh, okay.
so I don't think it's a cussy.
There you go.
But he does lick himself a lot while I'm on stream occasionally. So, La Patria says a comic book is a book is a book. I don't know.
Doesn't count. Corey Roberts says woke scolding equal modern scalp taking. Very true.
I think they're gonna
King
like
Dan-
the first 3 pages of the comic. I think
they will.
I think we hit. I think we went down the right path with that.
I think we did.
Yeah.
King Dance Killer, aka Dingus McBingus, for $19.99. Thank you very much. Dingus says, I missed it again, but here's some money. I just want to say that the streams the past 4 months or so have been so good. Your guys' chemistry has gotten so good. I legit watch more to laugh than for political takes. Oh.
Yeah. Thanks. The bromance is real.
I mean, I hate Adam, but yes.
Dude, we've been having so much fun on this comic. I feel like it sucks because I'm conflicted. I'd like to record some of the streams just because they're like hilarious. We're laughing and fucking having a great time.
They are funny, but yeah.
But we can't do it because we throw out crazy ideas and the next thing you know, you'll be like, oh, I wish the comic went in that direction and not the direction they went. So
I wish they had included the cum drinking joke.
I know. Exactly. So
how dare they not do that? Yes.
But we are having a lot of fun doing it. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. So
no one for another $10. Thank you very much. No one says, meet my final stretch goal and I'll make a book with a detailed description of my face. Sitch 2020. There you go. I won't actually show you my face. I'll just give a description of it. I like that.
Well, that could happen. That could be real.
No. I have like white skin. I have a nose.
Look, you're giving it away. Stop.
I have eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I giving it away for free?
It's too detailed. Too detailed.
I'm so sorry. Terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, anything else to say, Adam?
No, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go take a
you sound
like
sleepy.
A power
You sound
nap.
tired. Yeah, Adam needs to go rest. Okay.
Yeah.
He's an old man. He needs to relax. He needs to take a nap.
Yeah. I got a lot coming up this week though, but this is great. Thank you. You haven't convinced me. Hamilton is not great. Still hate it. Probably right on the other thing. Let's forget about it. Let's forget about it together.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's the destiny maneuver. It's like when you're wrong about something, you say, "Oh yeah, you're right," and you just try to move on.
I know. Let's move on.
Yes, exactly.
Sounds like I'm conceding the point. Let's try to like erase it from our memories.
Right. Exactly. CT for $1 says, Sitch, I think we're having an argument about definitions. I'm invoking Sitch's law. Define book.
Yeah, totally.
I was talking about a novel. That's my definition. So when I get a published novel, I'll have a face reveal. I'll put my big smiling face on the back jacket of the book.
You don't even know where commas go. I can't imagine you sending your book out to publishers. For God's sake.
Wow, hurtful.
Well, I don't know. I have an editor that like I always pay to have my scripts gone through with like a fine tooth comb. So hopefully you do the same. So
anyways, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your very generous super chats and Streamlabs. Hope you enjoyed both us going over this hellish ordeal of Quinton's terrible fucking dumb fuck take on this video, and if you were with us with Paul Vanderklay.
Yeah,
really appreciate it. We never talked about the no BS stuff, but whatever, maybe we'll say that
we'll get it next time.
Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for coming. Until the next time,
bye-bye.